Let The Rock set you straight on just a couple of things. You see, the Pilgrims weren't kicked out of England. They left England. They left England, they came over to America, and they landed on a place called Plymouth Rock. And you see, Thanksgiving, it's not about eating and drinking. No. It's about giving thanks. And all The Rock's fans would give much thanks if The Rock were just to walk down this ramp. Get inside the ring, look you right in the eyes, and then proceeded to wallop your candy bum all over Fort Lauderdale.
This is Levi Cooper, and you're listening to the Sit Down Marks with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Sit Down Marks podcast, sponsored by Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order. Excuse me there. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys all tuning in here for our Thanksgiving episode. I want to remind you guys right off the bat, our live streams every Wednesday night at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central are moving from Twitch to YouTube. We're heading over to the YouTube, so go on over there and search Sit Down Marks Podcast and give us a follow. Watch us every Wednesday live on YouTube starting December the 1st. Those are our live shows. I am your heel host, Dirty Bird, always helping to spread the good word of wrestling. Welcome, everyone. What's going on, boys? How's everybody doing today? Happy Thanksgiving. Woo!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Your favorite holiday, Primo.
It is my favorite holiday. I do enjoy this holiday. It is not to be overlooked in favor of Christmas.
No,
we must stop and enjoy and give thanks.
Agreed.
and feast. Most importantly, feast.
I don't care about the rest of the stuff. The feast. That's all. Just feast. Give me food.
That's right. Well, thank you guys all for downloading this show, man. We wanted to make sure you guys had an episode, as I said last week, to listen to on the way to those relatives that you hate so much, and something to listen to on the way back. So we are here to save you from those terrible times that you're going to have eating your aunt's very awful potato salad and your grandmother's turnip greens that she thinks that you still like from when you were a child. So.
Wait, whose grandma fixes turnip greens for?
It sounds like there's a tragic story involved.
Well, yours gobbles. So
yes, yeah. In the South where I'm from, that's where we make those turnip greens, man. Always got to have those greens. It means it's going to bring you money, man. It's like a good prospering food is what we call it in the South.
Oh, see.
Or for the the hipsters, it's the soul food, is how they like to call it. So anyway, getting off already here.
She would never want us to prosper. Like, she would never fix turnip greens. She'd be like, "You kids don't prosper at all."
There it is. First one right off the bat. Well, if there's any a turkey gobbling episode to be on, I think it's this one. So AJ's probably going to have at it this whole episode. Let me introduce my panel here today from the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, my man, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer of the show. Welcome, Primo. What's up, brother?
Thank you. Welcome me. Hello, Marks. Hello, everyone. Hello, Moggle. Hello, AJ. Hello, Dirty Bird. Baby. Let's do it.
All right, today
on this special Thanksgiving edition.
It is, man. It's got like I love this, little Survivor Series, little Thanksgiving feel. It's going to be a fun pod here today. So. My other co-host, babyface straight out of your mama's kitchen, master of the forearm shart, assistant editor and producer, Mr. Rampage himself. What's going on, AJ?
Look at this. Look, I can bow. Look.
Shart.
I'm not sitting right now, so I can like go like this, like shimmy off screen. I can do all kinds. Look at my range of movement right now.
You can go off like Hogan. You can go off screen like Hogan. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Right, shake the hand, close the eyes.
That was still my favorite.
Oh man, how fun was that, man? How fun was that, man? Good times.
Great.
Good times. All right. So, and here he's back with us. He's been on the pod here a lot, man. Big friend of the show. But he is here today to confirm that he is or isn't AEW referee doppelganger Bryce Remsburg. Welcome back, Michael. Welcome back, brother.
I admit to nothing, and you'll never get the truth out of me.
All we know is we've never seen both of you in the same room.
Yes, never have we seen
We
both
haven't,
in the
man.
same. And I've seen you in a lot of rooms, but never, ever.
I'm a busy guy. I get around, you know.
Welcome back, though, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope all is well.
Well, thanks, man. You know, it's great to be back. You know, love the pod and love listening to it. And it's always fun to be on.
How are things down in Texas way?
Well, I got this transient drifter that keeps knocking on my door that wants to come have fun times and food and it just
mangy
go
little drifter.
Way, man.
Fucking transients. You know, I hear if you feed him, I'm assuming this person is a him. If you feed him Whataburger, he'll eventually be like, all right, I want more Whataburger. Yep. But then if you feed him like 3 more times, he'll eventually go away. So, little advice. Give me Whataburger.
There's a book about that. Like if you give a Rampage a
Rampage,
he'll ask for a cherry pie.
AJ the mooch.
If you feed an AJ a Whataburger, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach an AJ to
Whataburger, he will live forever. He will Whataburger forever. Amazing how that one got off real quick. I want to thank all our sponsors right now listening on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Prime Music, Audible, and SportsWire online Fridays at 6:15 Eastern Time, right before the Thomas Bryce Show and throughout the week. If you like the pod, please tell a friend and leave us a great 5-star review and let us know what you think about the pod on whatever platform that you listen from. From today's date, boys, we are, we usually run on Wednesdays. We're a couple days ahead of schedule. Today is Monday. 68 days until the Royal Rumble.
Right, 68 days until my pick will win the Royal Rumble.
Which, I don't know. Although...
I don't know. Your picks didn't do very well this weekend.
No, my pick. I called this. When did I say this? Like 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
I still stand by it. AJ Styles to win the Rumble.
There you go.
I still think that's a pretty good early pick.
Heard it here first, right here. Today's Pop of the Pod, boys. This is one of you guys' favorite. It's called "It's Live," and it's the same theme song from a guy that you know, Ricky Starks.
The revolution is televised.
Makes you want to do the pose, don't it?
That's what I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was doing it the whole time.
Man, it does, man. Awesome theme there, man. Like that one, man. Yeah, it's called "It's Live." It's on iTunes. You can download it just as I just did. So, all right. So before we get to this day in wrestling history and wrestler birthdays here, Primo, rest in peace to your streak. You, we're not going to say who won, but we are going to say that you did lose the trophy. So I wanted to give you the proper respect and the proper time to say what you want to say about the trophy and give us what the actual days was. The streak ended yesterday, technically. So the floor is yours, my friend. Say goodbye.
Me and the Kurt Angle here.
Somebody finally won it from you.
Have been together for 223 days.
That's impressive, though.
Les Champions.
Impressive. 220.
I won it at WrestleMania. I defended it at SummerSlam. He's won his own little title. I mean, he's awesome.
He is.
Whoever the victor is, obviously, treat him well. Thank you to all the marks out there that have supported your champion all this time. I will become a 2-time the Kurt Angle champion. Mark my words.
His next shot will be at Royal Rumble, just so that everybody knows.
Will be in attendance.
Yeah, all of us will be at. We got a really cool way to see who's going to take that one. So, what are you going to say, AJ?
Wait, so does the little belt come with like? Are you sending the little belt to whoever?
Absolutely,
it's a good question. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome. Part of him. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, there we go. So we're going to come back later and break down the pay-per-view, how we did on our picks, who won the trophy between me and AJ, and what it came down to. It's a very interesting story here coming down to the end, as we'll break that one all down after Primo reads us the Survivor Series results later on in the podcast. So, all right, let's get rolling here. Primo, this day in wrestling history and wrestler birthdays. This one's going to be a little bit different here today. So go ahead, my friend.
This week in wrestling history, this Thanksgiving week, in fact, that starts today on November 22nd. That's today for all you marks out there. That 1984, we had NWA Starrcade. It was the $1 Million Challenge that took place.
Oh.
The main event that happened here was Ric Flair defeating Dusty Rhodes to retain
Baby clothes,
the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and win $1 million. The special guest which by the way, 1984, $1 million.
That's like $7 million in today money.
So, and the special guest referee was Joe Frazier.
Yeah, Smoking Joe. That way they could get the celebrity in there and for a little
shoehorn him in there somehow.
Yeah. Yep. A little cross promotion.
1990. On Thanksgiving Day, 1990, the major question at Survivor Series was, what is in that giant egg? And it's not the gold egg that Vince had last night. For weeks leading up to the pay-per-view event, fans speculated on what would hatch from the bizarre egg. Would it be a returning superstar? Would it be a wrestler jumping ship from WCW? No. Emerging from the egg was Hector Guerrero, dressed in a turkey costume straight from the Jim Henson Reject Collection, known as the Gobbledygooker.
Yeah!
Look at the Gooker.
Reject.
Look at him go.
The Gooker!
He was booed instantly and never gained much traction in WWE, aside from sight gags poking fun at it. In fact, in honor of how much of a gag the Gobbledygooker segment laid, the website, the Russell Scrap started hosting the Gooker Awards for worst moment of wrestling each year. Also on that same Survivor Series was the debut of one of the greatest of all time, The Undertaker player.
The Undertaker player.
I saw that. That was his debut. 91?
His debut.
His debut. I said 31 years ago.
91, yeah. Or, excuse me, 90, yeah. 2010.
Wow.
WWE Raw. In the main event, Randy Orton defeated Wade Barrett to retain the WWE Championship. Post-match, though, Orton was beat down by Nexus.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Immediately after, The Miz came out and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and beat Orton for the WWE Championship. This led to one of the best fan reactions of all time, known as Angry Miz Girl.
Oh, yeah! She was like,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember her now, man. Yeah.
And like when he did the slammies, he dedicated it to her.
Oh, that was so good, man. Oh, that was great. The classic the fan spots, right? The big-eyed guy when
Undertaker.
When Undertaker lost. Man, like awesome. Nice.
Wrestling birthdays this week. I put a whole bunch of them. If I didn't get your birthday on here, better luck next time, kid. 1994, Aaliyah, 94.
Glad she's finally making it.
1983, Brie Bella.
Brie Mode.
Wait, she was born in 83?
83.
Yeah, she's the same age as my wife. Baby.
I can't tell anyone's age. Like,
no.
Anyone younger than me just looks like they're 12. Anyone older looks like they're dead.
Remember when they were calling her Botch Mode? She was doing all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an apt description. Concussing everybody.
1980, Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix.
The Glamazon.
That's right.
Man, I used to have such a crush on her.
Wait a second. So you said Brie Bella, but you didn't say Nikki Bella?
No, they're not twins.
We don't acknowledge Nikki Bella.
I don't even know. That crossed my mind.
You know what's
like,
funny
at
is
all.
I wrote this down from a website, and that never even occurred to me.
Me neither. Just now, like it didn't even like. I guess.
Like you said, Brie Bella. I'm like, wait, she's a twin. Like,
no, Nikki wasn't born till the next day.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, 1976, Maven, first ever Tough Enough winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also eliminated Undertaker and paid for it.
Sure did.
Yeah, very much.
1974, Hoovy Juice, Juventud Guerrera.
Hoovy.
Who was the original gobbledygook? Wasn't it like Hector Guerrero or something?
Hector
Guerrero. Right? Okay, yeah, okay.
That was in my This Day in Wrestling History.
Yeah, well, you said, yeah, okay. Sorry, I missed it. I would say you said, I was thinking,
kidding.
Was it not? Well,
Yeah,
I was thinking
it
who
was,
the original.
It was.
Oh,
it was Hector Guerrero.
Yeah, I was saying, but for some reason, I always connect him and Hoovy for some reason. But I mean, different.
Guerrero.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Feminine, masculine.
Hoovy.
Hoovy's feminine. I was kidding.
Big. I always think he had a big mask.
Till he got demasked.
Yeah. Then he looked like a gremlin.
1964, Shane Douglas.
He's old.
The franchise? Oh man,
The franchise. He's awful.
I see it. Look at that cool coffee mug.
Hell yeah, whose face is that?
1961, Ivory.
Right. Oh, yes.
1961.
Dang, we're just getting older. The years are gonna keep going.
Yeah. All right.
1940. Actually, there's two of these in 1942. Different days because this is a whole week's worth. But 1942, Alpha.
Wow, Alpha.
Mm-hmm. And the other 1942 is Blackjack Mulligan.
Nice. Blackjack Mulligan, Barry Windham's dad.
Weird.
That is this day in wrestling history, this week in wrestling history, Thanksgiving edition.
My dad was a big fan of Blackjack Mulligan. Like hard-hitting cowboy, chaps, cowboy hat, full gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't announce the death of the Nexus at the hands of John Cena.
No, I did not.
Yes.
He didn't want to bring it up. It'd get too emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't recovered yet. Michael, stop bringing shit up.
Or the new Nexus with Punk.
Right.
Or the core with Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
PJ Black.
God.
All right. Next up, AJ, wrestling in the headlines, movie of the week. It's time for your segment, pal. AJ's wrestling in the headlines.
AJ's movie of the week.
He won't tell me what the movie of the week was. He wouldn't tell me.
Are you ready?
So I only have a couple of headlines.
Hang on. Are you ready, AJ?
Yes.
All right.
You can't do that because
I'm not going to do it. Just asking if he's ready from our conversation last night. It's not coming. It's not coming. It's coming later. I was asking if he's ready. This is where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Just so you know, this is where it's going to be.
Right here.
You be ready.
Not to spoil anything.
Proceed. Proceed.
So, news and notes and stuff. Only a couple of headlines here. First and foremost, more releases from WWE. Are they, in fact, done yet? Holy fuck. Do they have anyone left to release? I don't know. Let's go over the list. We have Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick, Jackson Riker, Shane Thorne, Ashanti, Isaiah Scott, Top Dollar, all of Hit Row, and then John Morrison on top of all of them. So,
Drip.
More releases. Oh, poor Johnny Drip. Where is he going to buy his...
man? What's going on? Why? More releases.
What's he going to do with all those drip sticks?
Sell them out of a van next to Earl Hebner.
Who's he going to have on the Moist Must See talk show?
Look, man, his whole household is unemployed. Taya, she got released too, man.
She got released.
Jobless.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not making fun of it at all, but I mean, that's kind of like, dang,
luckily,
at least one of them's working.
We all know both of those two.
Oh yeah, they're going to be just fine.
Work.
Yeah, absolutely. But
go back to being Johnny Impact. He'll make a kill.
Yeah, he'll go back to Johnny Impact and be awesome.
What would he be? What would he be at AEW? Johnny Elite.
Johnny Elite.
There you go.
Yeah.
Johnny Dark Order.
Dark Order.
Let me throw a headline in there too. If you guys didn't see, Bronson Reed, aka Jonah Rock, now showed up at Impact this weekend.
I figured you were going to say that in your
destroy. Well, that's the only thing that happened on Impact Plus worth even saying in anybody's ears on this podcast. So I was just going to bring it up in headlines. So
I thought it was pretty cool. What did his shirt say? Top dog?
Top dog, yeah.
Top dog,
yeah. He's a hoss too, man. He is. So he decimated.
Popped for that.
Yeah, that was nice to see.
So also to the surprise of no one, Kenny Omega has vacated the AAA title. He was set to defend it against El Hijo de Vikino, which is the son of the Viking, at the Triple Mania down in Mexico, and that was set to be in December 4th or Diciembre 4 for Spanish-speaking marks. But he obviously
very nice.
He vacated it because obviously he's out for a little while, taking care of all of his nagging injuries and such. So he's out.
So he should have dropped it to Andrade a while back, man, when they had that big match.
Yeah, but I don't think they knew back then that he was going to take off so much time.
I'm sure not.
Poor El Idolo. And then I had Bronson Reed back in fact, but we already went over that.
All right.
And a rumor that I just saw, Muggle, we talked about this a little bit, is I couldn't confirm it at all, but there was a rumor that Adam Scherr, a.k.a. Braun Strowman, is going to get rehired by WWE. Have you guys heard anything about that?
I have not. What's going on with that?
Let me call my guy.
Please do. I don't know. That's all I heard. I couldn't find anything to corroborate it or,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was just a rumor that I saw, and I'm like, oh. So we talked about it a little bit, and we couldn't find anything about it.
I mean, they have to fill the slot of Braun Strowman with Almost and Commander Aziz, right?
Wait,
right. The big triple thruple match.
Yeah, watch out. The triple towers.
Yeah. The only thing that I'd seen about Strowman was that possibly NWA. So that was the only thing.
Yeah. I saw that too. Which it would make no sense for WWE to rehire him at this point, especially for the price tag that comes along with him.
Yeah,
makes no sense to me. So
would NWA be able to afford Adam Scherr? Because he's asking $1 million an appearance, right?
They can afford all the guys they just released and all the females that they just released. They're just not because they're. I don't know.
No, I mean, could NWA afford
NWA? Yeah,
Adam Scherr?
I don't know. They got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend. It's kind of like
excuse me,
big one back, since COVID or whatever. So, but yeah, I don't know. That was the only rumor that I'd heard where he might possibly go. So yeah, that was it.
That is actually all I have for news and notes and tings.
AJ's movie of the week.
I did watch a movie. I actually watched 2 movies. The first one I watched, and then the second one I
watched these on the interstate. What are you doing?
No, I watched these both before I left. So I watched the first one, and then I watched the second one to wash the taste of the first one out of my mouth. So first up, we have a family favorite in our family, the Scooby-Doo Wrestling Mystery.
Oh yes, very good.
It's the Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery. What happens is, so the gang all goes to WWE Town or Ville or whatever it's called, where all the wrestlers live. They're like indentured servants.
It's a cartoon, town. Right? It's a cartoon.
Yeah, I think Scooby-Doo is always a Bill.
Yes.
We curse on this podcast, so I don't think any children are going to be taking your Scooby-Doo.
I like Scooby-Oo.
I highly recommend
the Mystery Gang.
I do too. So if that was the first one, what did you to watch that one to watch Scooby out?
Yes, because they fight a ghost bear, which admittedly is like the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. They're fighting a ghost bear. John Cena fights a ghost bear, and yes, when I was watching, I was like Bearcat, even though bear cats aren't bears, but I was still.
I've seen it.
I highly recommend it. It's atrocious and wonderful. John Cena's in it. Triple H is like the worst voice actor I've ever heard in my entire life. You go beat up that ghost bear.
Is this the one that just came out like a couple years ago?
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
When it came out. The Miz is in it, and the Miz is actually pretty decent at voice acting. John Cena is good, obviously.
The Miz is a solid all-around entertainer. Yes,
he is. And he's like at one point at the beginning of the movie, he fights Kane and Kane jobs him the fuck out. It's great. Like he's terrified. It's amazing.
As he should.
Yes. So I watched that and I give it a 2 out of 10. It was amazing and horrible. And then, because I was like, okay, I need to watch a good movie. So I went back through.
You're like one for adults? Sure.
Yes. So, hey, there are some serious adult undertones in WrestleMania versus Ghost. So I watched The Wrestler. Not just one of the best wrestling movies of all time.
Yeah.
Just one of the best movies, period.
I love this movie.
Playing like he was like a Hulk Hogan type who then, basically loses all of his star power and he has to do like these indie shows and like it's fascinating because
Ram Jam.
Yeah, the Ram Jam.
Ram Jam.
So we've been getting a lot of behind the scenes kind of peeks recently, and it's scary how accurate that really is when it comes to like aging performers and how they're booked and all that stuff. So I highly recommend that one. Go see it. Also, Marissa Tomei. Aw, chef's kiss.
Always.
If you wanted to just plug Mickey Rourke's nipples, you could just plug any Ricky Rourke movie. You know that, right?
Wait, did you say Mickey Rourke's nipples?
Yeah, because they're out in every single Mickey Rourke movie. Every single movie, you have to be front and center with his nipples all the time.
Well, actually,
no,
yeah,
it's true. I've taken copious notes on this.
Michael has an entire file folder devoted to the
wall you can't see over here is just a bunch of pictures of Mickey Rourke's nipples and red lines going all over the place.
So,
Mickey Rourke nipple conspiracy.
Quick story about this movie. I love it, man. It's one of my favorite wrestling movies. I love it. Yeah, it's great, man. And when I went to see this movie at the theater, it was like 10 minutes from the movie being over and the power went out in the theater, right?
No.
And I was like, oh, bummer, right? So, but it came on like 15 minutes later. So went back in and watched the last, 10 minutes, end up getting to see the end of the movie. So anyway, so they gave you free passes. It's a true story. They gave you free passes to come back, because the, power went out or whatever next movie. So I just gave it to him and turned around, walked back in, and I watched it over again.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Like it was that good. Like I enjoyed it that much, and I wanted to watch it again to maybe pick up on things that I didn't pick up on the first time. Like it's, if you love indie wrestling, man, like, it's just a classic story. I thought Mickey did great on it. There's some some cameos. Who's the guy? The Ayatollah at the end? Is that
the Ayatollah? God, what was? It was Sabu, wasn't it? Was Sabu?
No, it wasn't Sabu. It was Ernie the cat, wasn't it? Or
oh yes, the cat.
Yeah, Ernie the cat
Miller.
Yeah, Ernest the Cat Miller. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like the Ayatollah or something like that. But anyway. Yeah.
Awesome. Also, good performance by Necro Butcher in there too. Like he's
Necro Butcher.
Yep.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke got nominated for an Oscar for that movie.
As he should have been. It was actually
Ernest the Cat Miller movie. Did not. Sadly.
Oh no!
And just a warning: it has a very open-ended ending. Like it's very open to interpretation, which is it's very Christopher Nolan, which is my favorite. So that's what I got. That's what I got for news, notes, movies, and now I'm Hulk Hogan out of here.
All right. If you want a fan shout out, do you have some on Twitter at SitDownMarks? On Twitter, let us know where and when you listen to the podcast, and we will shout you out on the pod. Once again, welcome to the show. I am the Dirty Bird, and the show today, we're going to talk about our Survivor Series reactions. It just happened last night. So who won the Kurt Angle, the Sit Down Marks trophy here that we do for all the big four pay-per-views? We pick the cards and pick the matches and the winners, and whoever comes out on top wins it. Primo's been the champ since the inception. Tonight we're going to crown a new champion as Primo ended up giving up the title last night. So we'll come back to that here shortly. And also
pretty good initial run.
It was a heck of an initial run. I don't even know that it'll be. I mean, it's a heck of a feat for us to go for. You know?
Had to be pried out of his still bloody finger.
I know, man. Yep. So we're going to watch our we're going to talk about our very last Saturday night's main event that we just watched. It was from February the 8th, 1992. It was a famous when Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid. Sid Justice, thank you.
Time, yeah.
Sid, turns on Hulk Hogan, and so we're going to talk about that one. Also, I'm going to the boys are going to play Squared Circle questions today, so this is going to be a fun pod. And to top it all off, man, Kevin, the official Mean Gene of the backstage of AAW out of Chicago, is here. He's going to talk to us about the Windy City Classic coming up later this Friday. So we're going to plug that a lot here throughout the show. So Kevin's going to be joining us later, our interview with him. And so it's going to be an awesome pod here. Primo, tell the masses, where can they get that Marks merch?
Well, masses, Primo here. You can go and get your Marks merch, just like the hoodie that I'm wearing, or the shirt that AJ is wearing, or this awesome Christmas mug right here, which you can stun Christmas with.
Hashtag stun Christmas.
At tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. That's tpublic.com/STORESSI/SITDOWNMARKS.
Primo, you seem like you're a little behind tonight. Are you okay, buddy? Like,
I'm heartbroken. Me and the Kurt Angle here got to part ways.
It's a little sad. Like, I'm a little sad right now.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Well, let's get to it here. I'm going to start off our recaps of the week as I'm going to bring you the Indie Roundup for the weekend of November 26th, this is the weekend coming up right after Thanksgiving. Just a couple shows to talk about. As I mentioned, AAW, the Windy City Classic at 115 Bourbon Street in Marionette Park, Illinois. Kevin is coming here shortly to talk about that. Also, December the 3rd, Iron Spirit Pro, Logan is coming back on the show next Monday to talk about that show coming up that we are sponsoring. And also the very next night, December the 4th, Zawa Live, Dreaming of a Fight Christmas. We are also sponsoring that. We have gotten me and Primo just had a really awesome talk with Hartenbauer that we're going to be bringing to you for that one. So that one's going to be dropping December the 1st, right before that show. So, man, it was cool to talk to Hartenbauer.
I just remembered something about that interview that AJ is going to love.
I'm saving it too. I haven't listened to it yet.
Yes, he is. And then last show this weekend, AIW. I sent this one to the boys. It's called Hell on Earth 16 with none other than the Double J, the JEFFJARRETT. Friday, November 26th, Eastlake, Ohio. Double J is going to be there. So go check out the old slap nuts there.
I won't. I won't do it.
The old slap nuts. All right, so that is what's going on this weekend. It's a slow weekend because it's holiday, so not a whole lot of shows going around here, but that's what's going on. So let's talk about now what we've been watching this week. So short week here. So AJ's going to start us off with AEW Dynamite last Wednesday night. Let's see, where were they at this week? Norfolk, Virginia. For
Virginia.
Norfolk
for the Cowboys.
Cowboy shit. National Cowboy shit.
It was supposed to be his inception, right? Like this was supposed to be his big
his coming out
party.
Big coming out party, yeah.
This was, in fact, National Cowboy Shit Day. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Proceed. This is your background waiting.
I'm here in the state of Virginia, and it was National Cowboy Shit Day everywhere. We all celebrated it here.
Yes, in national, it was nationwide.
Yeah,
hence the national. Next year it's going to be international
cowboy cheat. Cowboy cheat.
So, some things about this little segment. Adam Hangman Page comes out for his coronation, basically. Crowd starts chanting, "You deserve it." And he's like, no, I didn't deserve it. I fucking earned it. And I was like, okay, that is a good babyface line right there. Yep. Well done, sir. I really am kind of looking forward to his reign as champion because it's been a year-long build, basically, for him. Super thrilled about it. Until one Bryan Danielson comes out, and he's just like, I'm a heel. I'm a heel now.
He said the one line where he could immediately turn heel. He said, when I won my championship at WrestleMania. He dropped he name dropped on him.
Yeah, everybody's like, boo.
That was a great line though. Like if you want to garner instant heat with the AEW crowd, bring up WWE. And he did. He also said that he was disappointed he won't be facing Omega, which, to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed as well. But that is such a twatty thing to say. Like you have this brand new super babyface champion who was had just a fantastic year, and Bryan Danielson comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to face the other guy. Like you're cool and all, but fuck." So the heel turn. If there was some sort of story behind it, it would make more sense. Apart from, well, we need super babyface Hangman to fight a heel. So guess what, Bryan Danielson, you're a heel now. But
I didn't like it.
A good point was made earlier by the person directly beneath me on the screen.
Hey. Thanks for the clarification.
I had to look at the screen.
This loser asshole over here.
I don't remember making a point.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. You're on the show.
You go undefeated in like 5 Punjabi prison matches, and all of a sudden...
I know, right?
Oh, by the way, we had our pie fight last night, and it was cherry pie, and it was delicious. But
you won and you lost in the same.
No one loses in a pie fight.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. It's true. That is true.
But they're gonna have a series of. It's gonna be a great feud because Bryan Danielson is Bryan Danielson, Adam Page is Adam Page. So it's gonna be fantastic moving forward. I just didn't really get the heel turn. It could have been 2 baby faces. I mean, Bryan Danielson was never really positioned as a super baby face, anyways. So yeah, it'll be fun. And then he proceeds to beat the ever-living fuck out of Evil Uno. So, yeah, I like this as well. After the match, which Bryan Danielson wins, he says basically that he's going to go through the entire Dark Order because they're going to be in a bunch of hometowns of Dark Order members coming up. Yep. So he's just going to wreck everyone in their own hometowns, which, again, very Healy thing to do. But
you get your ass beat in your own hometown. I want to say this real quick about Adam Page. When he came out, in Norfolk, Virginia, he's from Aaron's Creek. I just want to say, man,
about 150 miles from there.
Right. It's cool that, ain't a whole lot in Virginia, really.
There's still a champion in Virginia.
As far as big towns, I guess, other than
Richmond, Roanoke.
Yeah. But, I just want to say this, how wrestling is really cool sometimes because when I first started going to indie shows, was probably around the time I bet Adam Page was starting wrestling. He was wrestling a lot of local promotions in North Carolina, South Carolina. Mainly where I seen him most was PWX. Now, you go back in that time, you're like, wow, this kid's wrestling in front of like 20 people, and now he's the AEW champion. Just cool how wrestling works sometimes, man. Like the payoff, it's awesome.
On coming off of that, quick little question from the Marks here. For the Marks. He's starting his reign. He just started it, right? So, is he a transitional champion?
Yes.
Or is he
Yes.
Or is he going to hold it for a little bit?
3 months is what... Yeah, AJ and I were talking about this, and 3 months, I say. Give Danielson some time to chase. Just let him tear through people, like... Honestly, that's the other thing we're talking about. Dark Order is just a bunch of low-card job guys. So let him just wreck them.
You're talking about us, by the way. We're in the dark.
Yeah,
order.
you are.
We're gonna get wrecked.
Well, you're low card job guys. Like, what do you want?
To answer your question, my wrestling brain always thinks that heels are always longer champions. So I'm gonna say yes because face champions don't last very long because it just doesn't sell for very long unless it's somebody like Hogan. But that was a totally different era. So now these day and age, I think 3 months is probably safe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plus, like, going to what you said there, Dirty, you're going back like the old school, like, Flair days. You want a heel champion because he can travel the territories and just squeak out that win, put their top face in the area over strong, but still hold the belt. So, like, you want a traveling heel champion, and it's just solid for business all around.
Definitely.
So, I mean, that's why it's so good to have a heel champion.
Yeah, and
people will, like, they tune in week to week to see the face chase that heel champion.
Yeah,
they don't tune in to see. They want the moment where the face wins the big belt and everyone's happy and it's like, oh, this is wonderful. But then there's no story. Like, no one wants to see a heel like build himself up and then take on a top hit. Like, it's a different storytelling dynamic. So I agree when you say face runs should always be a little shorter than heel runs.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, real quick. It's like when a heel champion is standing tall as the show goes off. When the show goes off and the cameras turn off, usually there's a face coming out to make the home crowd happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's happened for time and time again. It still happens. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I think they get away with it a lot of times is, unless that heel champion like Flair is from Charlotte or that heel champion Stone Cold is from, Austin, Texas, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. So, I always think that the baby faces don't last very long.
Yeah, I mean, plus, like, they have to set up for the next, like, the big money payoff match at, like, one of their big pay-per-views. Like, Hangman getting the moment, that's a great payoff to the whole year story that AJ mentioned earlier. And then people just tune in every week just hoping to see the heel get his ass whipped or humiliated in some way. So, you can't humiliate your babyface champion over and over, but you can to the heel.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a better draw for especially with them doing the Forbidden Door where they can travel as champion. It's just such a smart move. It's a solid move. But yeah, Hangman is, I'd say 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say about that.
Until Evil Uno gets it somehow.
I can agree with that. I think also another thing too is what have they had? Jericho, Moxley, Omega.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
Yep.
What is it? And is it 3 years they've been around? 2018?
2019.
Yep.
So even less time. Okay, so that's okay then, I guess. Mm-hmm. So they're on their fourth champ. Yeah.
Fourth champion.
I'd like to see a couple quick changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they started off strong with Jericho. That's just they've done very smart moves with their booking for the big boy strap, and it's going to continue like that. Tony Khan seems to actually understand the art of pro wrestling storytelling, so keep it up, Tony. Good job.
Are you saying Vince McMahon doesn't because he lost his egg?
I don't think Vince McMahon knows where he's at half the time. I think Bruce Pritchard has to tell him constantly.
All right, AJ, keep rolling, man.
So up next we have a promo with MJF, which makes a belt gesture, which I'm hoping will set up an eventual TNT championship feud because I would like to see him win that first. That'd be cool. Up next we have a very important debut. It is Tomohiro Ishii, who is teaming with Orange Cassidy. Sure. Why? Because those two make sense together. I mean, they are.
I think Ishii's in Chaos.
Both in Chaos.
Yeah, Ishii's in Chaos.
Question. You brought up a name I love to ask questions about.
Yes.
Is anyone else getting tired of the one note joke that is Orange Cassidy? I'm just waiting for you all to be bored with it.
Well,
and join me over here.
We talked about it when Adam was on. I think it was the actual week that Primo was out. he's lost a lot of steam. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I think they're putting him in with this chaos to try to, give him a little Okada rub. A little bit of maybe a little bit of clout, maybe in New Japan, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean the gimmick has worn off a little bit, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like I think maybe I don't know, like a complete gimmick change turn. What do we do?
Something.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that. Join me over here, Dirty. Join me. You want to.
I'm close.
I honestly like the dude can go. That he can work.
Yeah.
It's just he needs a new character. And so like I've never doubted the guy actually has talent in the ring. It's just that character and gimmick is garbage. The first time you see it, you're like, ha ha, hilarious. The 8th time, you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
But what about the Butcher and the Blade? Because that's who they're taking on. I hate them. By the way, this whole segment was just to get Ishii over, which he does.
Yeah.
So he wins with the Brain Buster, which is cool.
Yeah,
one of my favorite finishers.
The important thing is that Ishii has shown up in America. It's awesome.
Yeah,
he looks like a guy I'd never want to wrestle with.
Mm-hmm.
No. So up next we have Shida versus Nyla Rose, another match in the TBS Championship tournament, and Nyla Rose gets the interference win. I love Shida; she's awesome. But Serena Deeb comes in, beat, punch, gobbledygook. Nyla Rose gets the win. So then we have Dante Martin versus Lio Rush, or Dante Martin and Lio Rush versus the Acclaimed. You know how I feel about the Acclaimed, so I'm gonna move on quickly.
Listen, this was good. He told Leo. I'm gonna talk about it because I love this spot, man.
But I was talking. But I was talking so fast, you weren't supposed to catch what I was saying. So
no, because I gotta say right here, because they said Leah Rush, you're an amateur. We think you're better off as a manager.
That's not even funny.
That is funny.
Those two words
that's pretty funny.
I like that.
That is okay. Yeah. That is one, a soft rhyme at best.
Yeah.
And two, it's clearly wrong. Lio Rush is pretty awesome in the So Max Caster, no one should listen to you. I hate God. Listen, shut the fuck up. I hate your gut.
Listen.
I mean, come on, leverage buyout Rush. He was a pretty good Bobby Lashley manager. He was no MVP, but Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious whenever he goes, the Acclaim has arrived, and then Leo and Dante in stereo do suicide dives and knock them on their ass. Yes. And Tony Schiavone goes, the Acclaimed are on their ass.
That's pretty good.
I love that. That was awesome.
All right, you can proceed. I said my piece.
Okay, now that we can move on from the horrible Acclaim, how come they don't get released? At least Max Caster. Anyways, Dr. Martin and Lio Rush get the win with flip moves. Up next, I love this. CM Punk interrupts MJF, which CM Punk threw a giant fit about Eddie Kingston interrupting him, and then he interrupts MJF.
I hope we call out the hypocrisy here.
Yeah,
for sure. But I love how he gets under MJF's skin by barely even acknowledging him. Like, it was great. Like, CM Punk was basically like, you're not worth me mentioning. But at the same time, CM Punk just interrupted him. You came out to, so it's fine.
Chris Jericho must have given him that content from like 15 years ago.
Promos and the matches are going to be awesome in this feud.
Yeah, this is going to be my favorite feud for the next 3 months.
No, I'm pretty excited. It was awesome.
Yes, I loved it. I just wrote thank you underneath it. And then, up next we have the Gun Club interrupts Darby Allin.
You love the Gun Club.
I'm a nice man. I'm a nice man.
How dare you speak ill of the one, Billy Gunn?
Kippy Sop.
Hold on. That's me turning the page on my notes.
Okay.
Is it just more pictures of Billy Gunn?
He wrestles on Rampage, so.
Yes, he does.
It gets worse.
By the way, Jay Lethal makes his in-ring debut, and He fights Sammy Guevara for the TNT title, and it was a great match. I love Jay Lethal so much.
It's the main
it was
event.
Great seeing him.
Oh, Jay Lethal is so good. So good.
Love it.
Love Jay Lethal.
He's going to go through all his characters, I feel like, too. Tony's got to want him to do all those.
Yeah.
Does he do the Ric Flair right now?
Yeah. Well, he's showing tidbits. I think so.
Love it. And that was the main event. Jay Lethal lost, obviously. But, yeah, it was a pretty...
The crowd loved the match. The crowd loved Lethal, too. Yeah.
Yep. Also, the crowd loves...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The crowd loves Dante Martin and Leo Rush as well. You know who the crowd hates? Billy Gunn.
No, you hate Billy Gunn.
You hate Billy Gunn.
I am the crowd.
The crowd loves Billy Gunn, and so do you, actually. You told me it's on your Wikipedia page that I've created and edited for you.
My only last note of that was it's so hilarious how Bobby Fish keeps trying to do the undisputed pose, and they're like, you notice that?
He goes to do it, and they're like, you can't do that.
Because you can't say that here, dude. You can't do that here, dude. Yeah. What'd you say, Michael?
So here's just a quick note about this match with Jay Lethal. So here's the stark difference between WWE and AEW for those who aren't quite aware of like the in-depth like presentation of pro wrestling. Here it is right here. AEW's philosophy is you can put someone over strong and still have them lose. WWE is 50-50 booking, small package roll-up.
Sure.
Yeah.
So to the marks out there, if you really want to know the difference, that is the shining example between the two companies.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. All right, moving on to Impact Wrestling. Now, this was a show right before Impact Plus, which was Saturday night. Impact Wrestling was Thursday night. Before that, I only have a few notes for you here. Macklin beats the Laredo Kid and gets a spot in the triple threat match for the X Division title. Turning Point was this past Saturday on Impact Plus, so that's basically the pay-per-view they've been talking about the whole time. Also, Decay, they kind of scared the Inspiration by kind of like intimidating them after their match by like coming out with their music and just acting creepy. So they're just kind of scaring the Inspiration. So there are going to be a few coming up. Eddie and Moose fight basically the whole show all around the Impact Zone. And then next up, Mercedes Martinez cuts another promo on Mickie James.
Hardcore country.
Next up,
your heart's just not in it today.
Next up,
such a poor Primo right now. Just it's hardcore so country. So nothing means anything anymore.
You know what my heart is in? This.
Oh my God! It's Billy. Oh my God.
Billy's the last thing I would want to appear behind me in a mirror.
Next up, Hikuleo versus Luke Gallows. Gallows wins. The feud continues. And then, funny, man, they bring the Demon back once again. He is on the show. The Demon with Decay beat Johnny Swinger, Hernandez, and Falaba. And then main event, Minoru Suzuki versus Josh Alexander. This match was about as stiff as a normal Suzuki match normally is. But, it told a great story. Josh ends up winning by the C4 spike. Stryker goes off by saying he is the best wrestler in the world. And just as it goes off, they preview that next week, Wrestle House 2 is going to start. You remember that reality show that they did back during COVID?
Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
I was thinking something else.
I was Roddy Piper
the Wrestle House.
I was thinking of Legends House.
No, I was thinking Legends House.
Primo, you need to get some sleep, man.
Legends House had Hacksaw and Roddy Piper.
I remember last year when the Ultimate Warrior and Kurt Hennig appeared on live newscasts. And I don't even know.
I don't sleep. What's that?
All right. So that was Impact Wrestling this past Thursday. And then Saturday night at Turning Point, nothing happened. Every title was retained. The only thing that happened on it was what I said earlier. Jonah Rock, I think they're just calling him Jonah, a.k.a. Bronson Reed from NXT, debuts. The storyline was decimates Josh Alexander. So it looks like they're going to have a a program coming up here. So quick thoughts, guys, on that real quick. What do you? How big of a player you think Jonah can be in Impact, Primo?
Oh, absolutely. I think he could be main eventer there.
Okay.
Yeah, I 100%.
So, what's the name of the program he's doing again?
What do you mean the program? Oh yeah, you don't watch it. No slander. No slander. Michael, no Impact slander. We all watch shitty wrestling. This one's just
I'm actually asking a serious question here because wasn't there
Impact.
I know it's Impact, but wasn't there a name to the arc that they're doing with him though? Like, am I going crazy or did I just make something up here? I thought there was a name to the arc he was doing, but anyway, yeah,
maybe
he could definitely
you need a nap.
I need to stop living in Fantasyland is what I need to do. Because I'm so happy there, though.
Yeah. What do you think, AJ? Yes or no?
Yes.
Big player, mid-carder?
No, fucking main eventer. Get him in
I was
there.
going to say main eventer, too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Get him in there. Get Johnny Impact back in there. And
honestly,
I was so excited to see him in Impact.
Yeah, you get Morrison back there. Yes.
Yeah, I was excited to see him. I was ready for him to go to the main roster before they freaking
me
him.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of momentum.
I'm a big Bronson Reed fan. So
I'll say it again though, man. These guys that got released a while back got to be freaking happy right now because all these other people, just continues to grow, man. So I mean, there's tons of places for everybody to work. So thank God for that. But it's just wild. So, all right, let's move on to SmackDown. This was the Friday night SmackDown that came on right before Survivor Series. That was this past Sunday night.
The go-home show for SmackDown.
Take us through there, SmackDown.
Smacking it down, baby. The show opener, after replaying the main event of last week's Smacking It Down, the show opens with the Usos in the ring talking trash to Big E on Raw and RK Bro at Survivor Series, basically saying, we sent you a message, Jules, and we gonna send you some messages too, RK Bro. So just something like that. Tonight we are going to see tonight we're gonna see the one that's what they said. They said tonight we're going to see the one who runs the WWE, the one true king, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the tribal king, Roman Reigns. We the ones. Out comes the head of the table. Paul Heyman says there is no one in the history of the WWE that deserves to be crowned the king as much as the tribal chief, your tribal king, Roman Reigns. Paul says the distinction of king doesn't belong to Xavier Woods, and it sure as hell doesn't belong to someone named Brock Lesnar, who, by the way, won King of the Ring in 2002.
Yes, he did.
He keeps talking a bit more, and Roman holds out his hand for the mic. Because in the ring at this moment, they have the throne, the crown, the scepter, the cape. They have all the king's accoutrements. And he says, whose idea was this? He makes it very clear that he doesn't need the king's materialistic items because he's worked hard and says, Hartford, acknowledge me. He says the only reason that he took the crown was because he can. Out comes King Woods. He says that all of those things in the ring are King Woods' property, but they aren't what makes a man a true king. He challenges Roman to come out later on in the main event without the two goons, a.k.a. the Wet Bandits, as he calls them. Home Alone.
I love that.
Home
Alone. So they can look each other eye to eye, handle like men. Roman orders the Bloodline to destroy all of King Woods' property. King Woods finally has enough when they go to destroy the crown and charges the ring. They maul him, then make him watch. As Roman says, I'm the only king around here, and I don't need props, as he proceeds to destroy the crown right in King Woods' face.
How cheap did that crown look, by the way?
Dude, it looks like it's made out of, foam.
Yes.
It looks like they stacked a bunch of Burger King crowns together and glued them.
I mean, really, Woods should be grateful to Roman because he got rid of the king gimmick, which is the kiss of death in that company. So he's like, thank God I don't have to do this king thing.
I think King Woods was gonna be great.
I love King Woods.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods, awesome. King gimmick, horrible.
It doesn't work for many people, no.
I love it because him and Kofi they can go a long way with this comedic.
Sir Kofi.
I'm gonna let the jury stay out on this one.
I
for
can't
a while.
twist my
I'm not gonna
mustache.
make
It's not long
judgment
enough
yet on it, but yeah, I mean, to me, the only kings I recognize or that I liked best were Macho
King
and
Primo.
Booker.
Yep.
Macho and Booker.
All hail King Booker.
Fire time.
Macho did it best.
Ooh,
all right.
Yeah.
Backstage, later on, King Woods says he will still challenge Roman later in the night. He says everyone knows the Roman Empire wasn't built in a day, but it will fall tonight.
Clever.
This is the decision, as we know last week. If you watched SmackDown last week, we know that Sami Zayn's spot was vacated after he lost to Jeff Hardy. So the decision as to who will represent the final spot of Team SmackDown is determined by a fatal four-way by the returning Sheamus, Cesaro, Jinder Mahal, and Ricochet. Cesaro has the match won, but Ridge Holland comes out for the distraction, allowing Sheamus to get the victory. Sheamus is the final member of Men's Team SmackDown.
That was a great
Next
match.
up,
I was okay with that.
It was good. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. One thing I want to say too that McAfee said. Did you guys notice that? I said a while back. Didn't y'all tell y'all that Pat McAfee looked like Ridge Holland?
He says all the time. He says the much better version of me.
It must be, yeah. So when he comes out now, he's like, "Oh, the better looking version of me just came out, looking fly as ever." I was like, "Oh, that is great, man." McAfee, I'm liking him more and more, man.
What's funny is
I've
noticed that people are on either side of the spectrum. There's no in between. Like people hate him or they love him, like we do.
Michael,
next
what do you
up,
think about Pat McAfee?
Yeah, what do you think about Pat McAfee?
I think he's got really good color, but like the voice inflection, the over-the-top voice inflections, that's got to be toned down. Like, sometimes it's the only thing you can hear.
What about dancing and teabagging Michael Cole?
He does teabag Michael.
You know, hasn't Michael Cole suffered enough by Heidenreich? Hasn't he had enough male genitalia around this area?
Yeah,
classic. Love it.
So you want to know how dumb I am? Right now, when you said he has nice color, I'm like, did he just go on vacation?
You host a wrestling podcast. You provide color commentary.
Yes.
Next up, we have a video package of Charlotte versus Becky.
Betty Lynch.
Betty Nug. Charlotte versus Becky video promotional package, and I thought it was absolute fire. I loved it. It really did get me hyped even more than I was for the only match that I really cared about at Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. And I actually it just goes through their history of them together, and I thought it was a really good, well put together video. WWE is really good at this, and they don't do it anymore.
They don't, and it's sad that they don't.
I agree, man.
Hey, Primo, I got an actual question for you here.
I may have an extra answer.
Going into this, who did you take in Lynch versus Flair?
Charlotte.
Okay.
And I'm a Becky fan, but I took Charlotte.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, King Woods arrives to the ring to call out the tribal chief. He says after last week, it's clear that Roman can't beat King Woods one-on-one, so he tells him to bring his ass out here. He said, bring your ass.
Bring your ass.
As Roman makes his way to the ring, the Usos seem to get thrown through the curtain just like the Spirit Squad did back in 06.
Yes.
So
good analogy.
Yes,
very nice pull there, Primo. I hope everyone got
your
that.
Knowledge of the Spirit Squad is rivaled by none.
I was at the pay-per-view that they debuted. I'm like, what are these? Like, what?
They were on my top 5 most hated.
Oh,
most hated, yep.
Yeah. So the Usos get thrown out the curtain, and with King Woods, he has a big smile on his face. Out comes WWE champ Big E. Big E and King Woods proceed to beat the hell out of the tribal chief and the rest of the bloodline until Roman Reigns is forced to run away with his tail between his legs as Smacking It Down, baby, closes their go home to Survivor Series.
Nice.
You know, Xavier Woods has an actual title. That's more impressive than a fake king title. It's Doctor.
His up, down title?
That's Doctor.
Oh, his actual Doctor.
His actual title.
Yep. Yes, that's true. And I do respect him for that. That's takes a lot.
So
yeah, Xavier Woods is an awesome dude.
So that was SmackDown last Friday at Hartford, Connecticut. So then we jump over to Rampage AJ for a short Rampage for a short show here on Friday nights back at Norfolk, Virginia. They had recorded. Yes. So what happened on Rampage there?
So this show kicks off. This is, of course, the November 19th episode of AEW Rampage with Darby Allin versus Billy Gunn.
You loved it. I heard you cheering. Don't pretend like you weren't cheering for that match.
It took 2 coffin drops to beat Billy Gunn. I mean, yeah, Darby Allin was hurt from his match from NJF. He was still selling the shit out of it. 2 coffin drops? Are you fucking dumb?
You know, I don't know if Eric and Primo have ever seen the posters in your house.
My ass man posters?
The memorabilia and the action figures. So here's what happened, guys. He went for an interview one time. He
froze.
We will never hear the story.
We may not. He froze.
My secret remains safe.
Right. Go ahead, AJ. Keep going.
So, Darby Allin gets the win, clearly, as he should. Up next, we have Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet. So Jade is a lock to win the TBS championship, right? Like, no one's winning Jade Cargill.
I think so too.
Cool. I'm coming around. I still think she's so limited and boring, but she looks $1 million and it's fine. So then the main event already, and there were some in between segments as well. I just am not talking about them because this was such a brief episode.
It was, yeah.
Adam Cole and Bobby Fish versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. My brother and I got into an argument before the show about how to properly spell the word Jurassic. It's 2 S's, by the way.
It is 2 S's, yeah.
2 S's.
Jurassic Park is the only reason I would know that.
2 S's. So it ends up that there's, a big schmoz, and Bobby Fish taps to said schmoz when he's in the snare trap. But it was really cool, again, that Bobby Fish and Adam Cole were teaming. Obviously, they were Undisputed Era for many years. So it was cool. I really liked this match. It was fun. Jungle Boy is getting better and better, and holy shit, he's going to be amazing soon. Like, soon. So yeah, this match did a really good job. This episode seemed shorter than normally as far as AEW Rampage goes. And I saw Billy Gunn and I wanted to throw things at my computer screen. But apart from that, A+.
Yeah, pretty good show there. So that was Rampage on Friday night. Nothing happened on Saturday night, and then we had Survivor Series on Sunday. As they were Brooklyn, New York for Survivor Series.
The Barclays Center.
That's right.
Barclays Center, yeah. All right. Well,
I cannot keep looking at.
Yeah, we still see Billy Gunn here.
Yeah,
yeah, I was waiting. I thought you were in the bathroom break or something, so that's why we were ad-libbing here.
I was sitting here just letting you watch.
So,
all right, yeah.
I want to explain to everyone what just happened at home because that was amazing. So on Primo's screen right now, or everyone watching at home, like anyone not watching and instead just listening, Primo had Billy Gunn on the screen, and we're like, oh, Billy Gunn is still there, and then off screen you can hear Primo go and just giggle. That's like he's pulling the fast one.
All right, so Primo is going to read our Survivor Series results here from
Survivor Series results
just last night, man. Real quick, did you guys enjoy the show?
More than I thought I would.
Yeah, I actually did enjoy it, especially the opening match.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's start with the 25-man Battle Royale was won by none other than Omos. Almost.
Of course it was.
The women's Team Raw versus Team SmackDown traditional 5-on-5 match was won by Team Raw with Bianca as the sole survivor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I should have saw that coming.
Yeah, well, I mean,
she did make a nice babyface comeback.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she was down 4-1, and then they, came all the way back. But I like this card. This was probably the match I liked the least, but it was still pretty good. Still pretty good.
I didn't understand why the team turned on Sasha Banks. I still don't understand that. Like, you're only screwing yourself.
The whole team is heels.
Yeah,
but
Sasha.
Still.
And Sasha's a heel, but right now she's a face. Like, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Men's traditional 5-on-5 Team Raw versus Team SmackDown.
Okay.
I like this way better.
Team Raw wins with Seth Rollins as the sole survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I like
the
this
final two
way
were
more
Seth Rollins and Jeff Hardy. That was good.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Then we had on the pre-show match, I forgot to mention, was the U.S. Championship versus Intercontinental Champion Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And it was Shinsuke as your victor.
Surprising.
Yep.
Very surprising.
Nakamura.
And then we have just 3 matches left. There was a short, there weren't very many matches at all.
No, there was like 5.
It's still 3.5 hours long, though, wasn't it?
4.
Close to that?
4 hours.
Close 4?
RK Bro versus the Usos. And your winners were RK Bro.
So what would Riddle sound like talking to Randy after their win, Primo?
Randy! You really do care, Randy.
Randy.
That's amazing.
Next up, Women's Championship, champion versus champion, Raw Women's Champ versus SmackDown Women's Champ, Charlotte versus Becky. The hottest match of the card. It was also the opener.
Featuring all the Becky boots. All of the Becky boots.
All the Becky boots.
Ain't no bad thing.
All the Becky boots. And the winner via roll-up. And what did she do? She held the ropes. That's what it was. Charlotte held the ropes and got found out, and then Becky turned around and held the ropes and got away with it and won the match.
Yeah.
Becky said, God, I'm good, or something like that in the camera. Yeah. Welcome back, Michael.
Yeah, that was kind of cringy.
So this is what happens when you try to tell a story about Billy Gunn and AJ has access to
you missed
internet.
You missed the unveiling of this. So our main
trying
event,
to reveal the truth.
Our main event was Roman versus Big E, your WWE champion versus the lesser known Universal Championship. Roman won though. He is the tribal chief. He went over clean. So I mean, there wasn't any kind of shenanigans.
Yeah.
He went over clean. No surprises at the end of Survivor Series.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so I'm thinking long-term booking because to me, they basically made Big E look like the United States title by a clean win.
I saw a statistic that he's lost 5 times since winning the championship.
Good fucking
whether
God.
it be singles or tag team competition.
Yeah, I mean, I love this show. Man, it was great. That match was great, and yes, the right guy won. But just a
he's the WWE champion.
Yeah,
clean.
Yeah, with a hard spear. Yeah.
After he kicked out of the spear.
Yeah,
they let him kick out of one. I guess that was the thing.
But props to WWE though. This is. I enjoyed this pay-per-view. It was good. We were doing stuff last night during the pay-per-view. I went back and watched Charlotte Becky over this morning. And, I mean, I thought it was a great pay-per-view. It's got to be long-term booking. Big E and Roman, this whole thing ain't done. So that's the only reason why I'm thinking it was a clean, go over there for Roman. And, I don't know. We know Charlotte and Becky ain't done. This is the first of many. But all in all, I thought it was a good show.
I didn't like the way the end of Roman Big E was booked.
No, yeah, me neither.
I like the whole match, and then
the whole match was great.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
if you're gonna put a champion over a champion, though, especially when they're supposed to be on equal footing, like have Big E tweak the knee on like that apron spear or something. Give him a reason to oh well, he slipped one by him this time, but next time he's gonna get him. Like, no, he pinned him flat on his back. 1, 2, 3. It was like.
Yeah. What'd you say, Primo? What were you gonna say?
What did I say?
They're not unequal.
Oh, other than that part, what I was saying about, he actually mentioned it a second ago, the spearing through the ropes. Every time Big E does that, I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like, because he's a thick dude. I expect I'm afraid he's gonna catch on the ropes.
Yeah. And he goes head down. Seems like every time. So
and he always lands like right here.
Yeah.
Like, good God, man.
I don't know if you guys caught this, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did you guys see the crowd turn on the women's Survivor Series match?
Oh yeah,
they were doing.
There was a wave.
There was a wave.
Yeah.
It was. People were like, "Okay, that's not a good sign."
There was a spot, real quick. I don't know if anyone caught this, but like in that battle royale when they were doing the tug of war with AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
Did you see how he hit the floor?
Hard,
yeah. Right here,
to the outside.
Right here.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I thought, I'm like, separated shoulder, broken clavicle, collarbone, like it was like they didn't communicate when to let go, and almost did, whatever. He's a bum, man. Like I
only looked up a couple times during that match, and that happened to be one of them.
Yeah, I'm just not getting almost here. So, but all right. Quick rating, 1 to 10. Primo, what do you give the pay-per-view?
4.
Okay. 4 for AJ. Y'all going
I agree with that. 4 thumbs up.
It wasn't that bad.
I give it a 5.
I got one. I thought I got one match on the card that I looked. This is how I rate it. I had one match on the card I looked forward to, and then 2 whole matches on the card I super enjoyed, and beyond that, I thought the rest was kind of meh.
Yeah.
There was an actual moment when we were watching it that AJ stopped and looked at me and goes, "Who's on that team watching the women's 5 women match?" He's like,
I did.
Who is on what team right now?
Right. Yeah. If we didn't have the blue, because the guys wore blue and red, some of them.
Yeah.
I think that's what kills it for me. Maybe I want it to go back to Survivor Series the way it was, not this brand. Because they keep saying that. Like Michael Cole goes, "It's the one time of the year when the brands challenge each other." I'm like, no, it was not this.
Yeah.
That's a lie,
Yeah.
Michael Cole.
Also,
right.
did you guys like how they had the network they were on their backs?
That's also super stupid.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, before we get to the drop kick discussion, it's time to crown a new champion. I'm going to break it all down here for you. What exactly happened last night? All right. So, like I said, we, all the big 4 pay-per-views, we all picked the matches of, whoever wins the most matches takes home the trophy. Primo has won it for the first 2 pay-per-views. He's had a long title reign. So let me break down everything that went on and went down last night. It looked really good for me early. I started out hot. And then and AJ kind of came on here late, but let's start this thing right off. Finishing in 3rd place for this pay-per-view, our former champion getting 2 matches out of 6 right. Primo, it was a good run, brother, and you were a respectable champion. Appreciate you respecting the brand, but you are no longer the head of the table. You are no longer the tribal chief. We do not have to hear that shit anymore until you're champion once again. Then once you are, you can let it all hang out once again. But
what did we just say? We just said babyface champions don't last long.
This is true. This is true. I like it. AJ is the face on the pod. AJ's the face on the pod. All right, so let's get down to it.
But real quick though, you didn't unveil it yet, but we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's get down to it here. So out of 6 matches, it came down, me and AJ both, we had Becky. Men's Raw, I had Raw. He had SmackDown, so I got that one. I had Shinsuke. He had Damien, so I got that one. Now, this is where he came on here because he got the last two. I had the Usos. He had RK Bro, and I had Women's SmackDown. He had Raw. Okay, so we were tied up. Okay, so I had 3, and he had 3 going into the final match. I had Big E. He had Roman Reigns. Okay. All right. Now, had this gone to a tiebreaker, the time of the Charlotte-Becky match was the tiebreaker. Okay. The Charlotte-Becky match official time was 18 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, I said my choice was 18 minutes and 12 seconds. So I missed it by 3 freaking seconds on the tiebreaker if we had went to the tiebreaker. Okay. But we did not. I picked Big E because I thought it would be a schmozzy DQ finish. The Usos bloodline was going to, so that was my reasoning for picking Big E. I was wrong.
It's good.
AJ,
it's good thought process.
AJ had Roman, and he won clean. So, and no sit down, Marks. Kurt Angle champion. AJ is your new champion. Primo will be shipping the trophy to AJ. Let him get it in. Get ready. AJ doing his celebratory
I
dance.
just want you to know we're all grown men doing this.
Yes, we are. AJ, congratulations, man. You are the new champion holder. That trophy's coming to you. So you'll be the champion at least until Royal Rumble, man. Congratulations, buddy.
Yes.
It was fun, man. We made it interesting, didn't we?
Yes, that came down to the last match. And I got to tell you, the only reason I took RK Bro, because I had the Usos initially, but then I was like, oh, it's Randy Orton's record-breaking pay-per-view match. I'm like, he's going to win that one, right? So I switched it. Otherwise, you would be taking home the trophy. Right?
Actually said that to me before we watched the pay-per-view.
that makes total sense. I didn't even think in that angle. So for that,
congrats,
match,
AJ. Congrats.
Thank you all. I promise to be an outstanding babyface champ. Thank you, the fans. AJ's game, baby. Woo! One day as your reigning, defending, sit-down Marks champion. Thank you, Marks. You are all amazing.
One day, I love it.
One day.
Do you guys love part-time champions, by any chance?
It's a new
you want me to Brock Lesnar this up?
Yeah, I'll talk to you offline. I'll get it to you, but I was gonna see if you wanted me to wait because you're not gonna be in state for like a week.
No, you should send it here. Send it where it's at right now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Where's been going lately? It's been a week to go anywhere.
Right.
So, but Primo will be shipping the trophy over to AJ.
Remember that self-addressed stamped box that I sent you last week?
You did say you were going to do that.
There it is. All right. Congratulations, AJ.
Yeah, congrats.
He's going to put the title up at the Royal Rumble. We're going to be drawing balls for spots at the Royal Rumble. So going into the Royal Rumble, we're going to know what numbers we're going to have. And then the winner, whatever number wins the Royal Rumble, is going to take home the trophy. So the trophy will be in St. Louis. So AJ's bringing it with him. So the winner that night is going to take it home from the Royal Rumble. So yeah, you're going to get to take it home the night that you win it. So that is what's coming up. So, all right, before it's time to get to our drop kick discussion of the week, boys, we,
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, but you can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, so guys, for the month of November, we have been doing Saturday night's main events reviews. We've been watching old shows. We saw the Mega Powers form. We saw an awesome Macho and Bret Hart match. We also, and a lot of good wrestle matches. Bam Bam Bigelow,
Bundamania.
Bundamania. That's right.
We saw. What was that? Pile Driver.
Yeah, pile driver. Yeah.
Sounds like
Been awesome, man.
Sounds like an argument.
Sounds
I'm gonna miss
like a pile
wheelies.
driver.
These have been so much fun. So much fun.
I still think one of my favorite moments was watching Andre try to be sneaky. He's like,
I was like, with his giant moose hand, just
All right, so let me
But
set
you're not
this one up
sneaky,
for you. This is the last Saturday night's main event of the month. This one was aired February the 8th, 1992 in Primo's home state of Lubbock, Texas. Not Lubbock town, but Texas, Lubbock, the state, Lubbock Municipal Coliseum. You ever been there before, Primo?
I've been to Lubbock, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean the Municipal Coliseum.
No, I've not been there, no.
Texas, that's where Texas Tech is, right?
Texas Tech, correct.
All right, correct.
We call them Texas Light, but yeah, Texas Tech.
So, yeah, this one aired February 8th, 1992. This was the lead up to Mania 8 in Indianapolis, Indiana, which was probably worse than the main events of all time. It was called A Friendship Torn Apart. You know, Sid and Hogan, as Sid's going to turn on him in this one. So just to kind of put where we are, Ric Flair was the champion at the time. He had just won the Royal Rumble in 1992 back in January, which was basically just a few weeks prior to this one coming out. But this was the last Saturday night's main event until later that year in November when the next one comes out. So right off the bat, boys, the opening changed. They got different music from what we've been hearing from the originals and a new logo. Bobby Heenan, Vince McMahon. What'd you guys see to start right off the bat?
Right off the bat was obviously you mentioned the different intro. It was definitely more. I don't know. Definitely more 90s for sure. I guess that would be the best way to put it. And also, as far as I did write something about Bobby Heenan here. I put Bobby Heenan comparing Jake the Snake and Miss Elizabeth's interaction to how he gives his dog treats. Mm-hmm. Makes absolutely zero sense to me.
But with Bobby Heenan delivering it, it's hilarious.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he said that like if Miss Elizabeth was his dog, he wouldn't give her the treat, but he would throw it away instead. It's like, so you would buy the treats just to throw them away? That makes no sense, Bobby Heenan, but I love you.
So get the show started off here. We got Roddy Piper versus the Mountie.
Oh, dear God.
The Mountie!
Here we go. You know you're in the 80s right off the bat when the Mountie's on your screen. Funny, Piper's coming to the ring, and Bobby Heenan says, "Nice belt." Piper has to hold his skirt up, which is actually the Intercontinental title. So,
beautiful title.
Beautiful title, man. Love that belt, man.
The pop for Roddy Piper was
still huge.
Babyface Roddy here. Babyface Roddy.
Okay, so
there's a series of funny things.
So first of all, there was a double Pearl Harbor. They both attacked each other. Like the Mountie attacked Piper beforehand, and Piper, of course, is like, boo, no style, and then attacks the Mountie. And then we have so we were watching this. It was me, Moggle, and our mom. We're all watching this. And my mom, sees Roddy Piper, who she actually recognized Roddy Piper.
Right.
And she just goes, "Are those the right color of tartans for his kilt?" What?
The things that she noticed?
She wanted to make sure the colors were right for his clan, too.
Oh, wow.
So we were like, I don't think he's actually from Scotland, Mom.
We both just stopped and looked at him like, we've never thought of that.
I've
never thought of that.
You're like, that is a great point.
Right. And would I ever on here? How about the Mountie's pile driver on Roddy, man? Huh? That was.
It's good to see the pile driver actually used again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just as a music video.
Yeah. And then the laser taser, they called it a couple times, comes into effect.
Yeah.
The fake sound effects when they put it on actually on them, being piped through. Yeah, and then Roddy comes up with the
shock vest.
He's got a shockproof vest on at the end of the match.
So, I got two things about this. So, number one, I put the dude on the walkway was so stoked that his girl kissed Roddy Piper.
He was. He was.
And then I also said I popped for real big for the spot where Piper hit the Mountie and caught his little stun stick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I put the ref was in a terrible position for the finish.
Yeah. Just so you would know that it's a shockproof vest that said shockproof.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know. It actually looked like a wetsuit, but okay.
Also, there was a metal zipper on it, which is certainly a conductor of electricity.
It looked like they got a graffiti guy to do it right before he came in the building. Like, spray shockproof on my
just spray shockproof on it.
Yeah. All right, what you got here, AJ?
I did love the, like, sound effect. And then I love Piper after he got hit was just like, like just straight up, no selling because of his shockproof.
They should have flicked the lights on and off just because why not?
Right. Yeah.
Every other time that sound effect is
used, sucking electricity.
Yes.
It's like plugged in under the ring.
Yeah. This was a great opener, man. This was a great opener.
It was great. Yeah. It was a fun match.
I also like the in-match promo with Bret the Hitman Hart because he was doing his awful, I'm the Hitman and I'm gonna beat you. And
I always got wet hair. My hair's always wet.
Hair.
A young Roman Reigns takes notes.
All right. Any last notes on this one before we move on?
That's it.
Let's see. Nope. I love the best.
There is one thing we did have to explain to our non-wrestling fan mom, that this is a period of time where everyone's gimmick is they have a job and then they wrestle.
Yeah.
Thus the Mountie is a wrestler.
Right, yep.
Rowdy Roddy the Piper. He's a musician
the parts
who
of Canada.
likes to fight.
The Mountie is a Canadian police officer, big boss man,
Yeah.
Duke the Dumpster Josie is a garbage man.
Right, yeah. I mean, these people had jobs, man. They had jobs.
IRS.
Next up was a promo was a replay of Ric Flair winning the Royal Rumble. They was actually showing Sid throwing Hogan out, which was leading up to everything that was going on tonight, because then Hogan was named the #1 contender by Jack Tunney at this really awesome, press conference that I freaking died. It was so hokey. Undertaker, oh my god, dude!
The dead man's just sitting there.
He's like the awkward introvert in class, sitting over in the corner.
He's quiet kid.
Yeah, man. Oh man, that was so awesome. So this was just a lead up to what happens here. But what did you guys see there, man? It was a lot going on. A lot of different characters. Macho doing his thing, and Undertaker over there quiet and
how they acted like it was a bingo. How they're like the #1 contender for the World Championship, Heavyweight Championship is Hulk Hogan, and he's like,
who drew number 4? Who got 4?
And Hulk Hogan's like, yes.
Well, I mean, you had Sid with his shit-eating grin that.
Oh my god!
I know. Well, and he stood up too. He was like,
yeah.
But I love the idea of kayfabe, being like, all right, Mr. Undertaker, you're going to sit in this little folding chair at this table for
right. Mr. Dead Man.
Do you think Paul Bear was off to the side, with the urn, controlling to sit at the table?
After they announced it, did you see Sid with the piece of paper that he was trying to look tough, but he was just crumpling a piece of paper? It's like, oh, Sid. I loved it. I love shit like this.
They do bring up a good point, though. Why would Sid not be the #1 contender?
Hogan, brother.
Well, we got to brother it up, brother.
Yes, it was like they wanted to murky it up to make it kind of look like it might be somebody other than Hogan, but it's always going to be Hogan, right? I mean, So
of course it's Hogan. He's booking, so it's
very well should have been Sid.
So let's move on.
Fame-wise.
So let's move on through this here, man. There's a lot happening in this match, so I'm going to try to break it down here real quick for you. Hogan and Sid versus Undertaker and Flair with Kurt Hennig ringside. The crowd goes nuts, man. Hogan comes out with Brother Brutus. Now, this was, just not long after the accident from Brutus. His face was still newly fixed. It was a parasailing accident. Is that what it was? I think.
So it was, Beefcake was on the beach. And some girl was parasailing and went over the sand and just went boom right into Beefcake's face and destroyed it. He had to get complete facial reconstruction surgery.
Yep. So anyway, Sid starts out the match. He is playing like everything is good. He's got a really awkward, dumb-looking, funny smile on his face, they just taught him how to smile right before he walked out there. So that was pretty wild. But Sid insists that he starts the match with his 1992 body glove elbow pad. Y'all see that?
Yeah, like the
you guys know you had some body glove gear back in the day, right?
He is.
Body glove. When I had my skateboard, I had body glove knee pads.
Yeah.
Body glove, swim trunks.
Before you dive into this match, Dirty, I have to say one thing. The ratio of performer to mullet was
Chef's kiss.
We counted this. There were 7 performers, 6 mullets. It was
7, including the ref. The only one who didn't have a mullet
didn't have one. But
But Flair was he was like a poof bouffant. So it was a bit.
What about Liz? Did she have a mullet?
Liz wasn't out there for this one.
No, she wasn't out there yet. But he had the South Carolina sweeper going, that little lovely fluffer.
You better say South Carolina. Don't say North.
All right, I know where Ric Flair's from.
No, that's where I'm from. That's why I said that. So Ric Flair is taking his normal bumps as usual. He's the best wrestler in this match by far at this point. Taker had only been in the WWF for just over a year, so he was still looking like the young Undertaker that we knew. Hogan tags in to clean house. Sid looks jealous as Hogan is kind of stealing his spotlight. Flair's taking his normal bumps, his bumps over the ropes, his face bumps. The ones he used to take in the middle of the ring, still one of the best sells ever. Flair puts the figure 4 on Hogan. Hogan's trying to tag Sid, but Sid has no part of it. He's just standing there looking distracted, talking to fans, and Taker and Flair just keep working over Hogan. And the usual Hogan hulks up, double clothesline. Hogan goes for the tag, and Sid jumps off the apron and leaves. The match is contested as a DQ as Taker and Flair attack Hogan. Beefcake comes running in, which Hogan, tells him, after they've cleared everybody out that, you could have hurt yourself. They're really working. Hogan's talking about the accident. It's out in the open. It's not kayfabe. You know what I'm saying? So he's, telling him, that he could, hurt himself, forever because of the accident that he just had, and hey, Hogan's music hits, brother, that's the way the match ends. So what do you guys have here for this tag match?
I'm going to tell I wrote down my exact thoughts. From the promo beforehand. I put, because it's before that they have Sid and Hogan shaking hands or whatever. I put, Hogan has got to be the dumbest person ever to believe Sid would forgive him that easily for costing him his title spot. And then I wrote Undertaker taking a hip toss from Hogan was pretty funny to see.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I wrote down double atomic drop. That was cool.
Yeah, in stereo.
Yeah. And I said I laughed every time they hit Taker, and he just kind of walks around slowly like a zombie for a couple seconds. I said I was a big fan of Sid in this match. He doesn't have to put up with Hogan's BS. Some fan had big enough balls to smack Sid on the arm when he was walking away. And after Brutus came in just for the save, I said, Brutus, we all know you really don't want to help Hogan. You're going to double cross him at Rage in the Cage in a few years. They're being so animated with their conversation afterwards because they're trying to portray it to the fans, and Hogan's like, you could have got hurt out there, and he's like moving his arms everywhere.
It's like one of those used car salesmen.
Yeah. And then I wrote Sid calls it WrestleMania.
He does.
Yep.
And then when Hogan and Beefcake were talking about the hospital, I said, wait, Hogan and Beefcake were laying in bed together? Because
I have this exact notice.
And that's all I got on that whole thing.
Okay. So for a couple of these, when they had their promo backstage, Hogan and Sid, there was smoke in the background. So I was like, who is smoking back there? Go outside. Promo. And then, so Flair's wearing his red tights. Danger. Also, I still love Taker's no selling. Like the Michael Myers sit up spot after he hits a move. Like it's
just
love it.
Yep.
Also, interesting little fact about this this match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 people involved in this match are in the Hall of Fame. Pretty much everyone but Sid is in the Hall of Fame, which is really cool. So then, you have Sid walking away, you have Schmaz.
Beaver is in the Hall of Fame, Dirty. Trust us, we looked it up.
Yeah, we did. we looked it all up.
That's what I was thinking of.
So, the promo...
Thanks for confirming.
Primo, back to your... Yeah, we looked it up.
We had to look it up.
Primo, back to your question about the promo with Beefcake and Hogan. First of all, Hogan's talking about veins again. If he's not talking about banging Brutus the Barber Beefcake, he's talking about veins. Because then, yes, he was
I'm
talking
Hulk
about
Hogan, the greatest wrestler of all time.
Hanging and banging, brother.
Hanging and
Because he
banging,
says
brother.
they were hanging and banging. And my note to this thing was, were they talking about banging in the hospital?
Probably.
That's what it
They
sounded
both
like.
did. They definitely say as we were laying there together.
Yep.
But I still loved it. The amount of talent in this match alone was pretty amazing. And
Right. Anything else here before we move on, boys?
Well, as I knew AJ would be taking the serious notes, I took the time to name each mullet in the ring for you guys.
Okay.
So the Undertaker has the Death Valley Dune.
Nice.
Okay.
Sid has the Poodle Noodle.
Because it's so
Nice.
cool.
Beaver has the Beef Flaps.
The beef flap.
That's
Hogan's got the classic Skullet going. Hennig has the Perfect Pour.
Perfect pour.
Flair has the South Carolina Sweeper. And then, Paul Bearer doesn't have one. He just has a mustache. So
yeah.
All right,
He just
so
has to
moving
be-
on in the show, Sean Moody backstage interview with Sid Justice. One of my favorite lines for a wrestler to say. Sid Justice back there, he says that he is the number one contender because Sid rules the world. I love that
That's
line.
just not true.
So Bruce and Hogan promo to say how fond they are of each other. Friend till the end promo is what they called it. Yep. And then so next up, guys. Beverly Brothers versus what I call Team America. Fuck yeah. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Sarge. This match was joined in progress like we were late to the show or something. Like
Yes.
we were watching the program before, so that was kind of weird. But yeah, so that kind of ran over. Duggan wins on the clothesline. It was like, here's a match if you want to see the end here before we move on, just in case. You guys got anything for the Beverly Brothers and
all I
Duggan
put
Sarge?
was, oh, love me some Hacksaw.
all I had for that was, like you said, it started mid-match, and I looked at Edge, I was like, is that the Beverly Brothers?
Yeah, man.
But
Awesome stuff.
then there was the Genius was in this match, and I was like,
Yeah.
yes, Genius.
Yes, he was.
and-
Good old Lanny.
So we have our
Lanny.
second mom quote of the evening where Hacksaw Jim Duggan kicks, I think it was Blake Beverly. But
Did
Hacksaw
she know who
Jim Duggan-
Hacksaw was, though? She probably knew, right?
I
We'll
don't
have
know
to
if she
ask
knew
about that.
I was gonna say he was in that Roddy era. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you think
like household names.
But she goes, so Hacksaw kicks one of the Beverlys and he falls down because he's Hacksaw, he's clumsy. And my mom goes, or our mom goes, did he just fall down? I was like, wait, what? And she goes, oh, of course he fell down. He has a belly. And we're like,
Yeah, they just fall over. They just
Billy Willy.
Yeah.
Also,
Willy.
Sergeant Slaughter hits Blake with the foreign object to win, so you have a babyface cheating to win.
Yeah.
oh, yep, the babyface cheating.
Yeah. You never knew about that Sarge. So, anything else there,
I
guys?
also love how Duggan almost threw the ref out too. Like he grabbed the ref, he was gonna be, and then he was like, "Oh shit, no!" and like left him alone. And
Right.
what a great match!
I would have
It was
predicted
terrible.
Schmoz at the back with Duggan in there. So.
All right, next up was the famous clip. We all have seen this one a bunch of times of the Snake from Jake the Snake Roberts biting Macho Man on Superstars from 1991. We see Jake slapping Elizabeth, which leads to the awesome but short Jake promo where he says, some things are worth doing twice.
Yep, some things are worth doing twice.
And then Macho is fired up on his promo, which leads us into our main event here.
So, real quick about that, Dirty, that is one of the more well-known Macho promos. Like, and it's on a Saturday at night main event, the I'm insane promo.
Yes.
That's one of the more well-known Macho things that I'm pretty sure you just picked this main event so you could get more Macho promos.
Mean Gene.
Always.
Oh, you women out there.
Right.
Oh, you men out there.
So, real quick here before we start, Vince McMahon says a line, okay? I want you guys to indulge me here. Show me your music knowledge here, okay? All right, so Vince McMahon says, you don't pull on Superman's cape, you don't spit in the wind, right? And you don't, he said something else about messing with Elizabeth, and then he said, famous line from Jim Croce. Did you guys hear him say that? Famous line from Jim Croce? Does anybody know who Jim Croce is?
Yeah.
Did he just go, a Leroy Brown?
Yes. Thank you. All right, just making sure. Thank you for at least knowing. I'm a big Jim Croce fan, so thank you for knowing. All right, so this was one of the greatest rivalries and feuds of all time, Macho Man and Jake. This was a chapter, in what was going on. No, hot start here. Heenan says that Macho Man fighting for Elizabeth is noble, courageous, but entirely stupid.
That's a good line.
Yeah, it was a good line, man. Heenan says Liz should be at home and she wouldn't be out here getting
They
hurt.
say that every time.
They do. I know. I was going to say that too. That's my next line. They always repeat that. You're right, man. So anyway, as I like to say, Jake is putting the boots to Macho here. So good, working the crowd, doing what Jake does, man. And then I love Savage. Always love Savage because I know we're going to see a good double axe handle. We're going to see a good double axe handle in the match. You know what I'm saying? A lost art in wrestling these days. So, all right. So getting to the end here, Jake is just working this whole match. He gets the DDT on Macho, and then Macho gets up. He kind of lets him sit for a minute. Macho gets up late. From the rally, gets up for the elbow and the 1, 2, 3 post match. He's trying to hit Jake with the ring bell. Jake runs to the back, kind of holding his throat from what is going on. Macho's music hits. Elizabeth runs to the ring and she crosses Jake, going to the ring. After all this is going on, it's just kind of weird that they would let them be that close on TV. They don't show it, but they were right there next to each other. But yeah, but anyway, and then so it's run to the ring. Macho and Elizabeth are celebrating as Pomp and Circumstance is playing, and as the show goes off, it shows Jake the Snake peeking through the curtain at Macho and Liz celebrating. Yeah, so to kind of lead up to make you watch on what was going on here. My last note of the night was a lot of great hairstyles here on these 1992 Lubbock, Texas marks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
fantastic.
I don't have much for this. I just have there in the beginning of the match, Macho Man was going 100 miles a minute. He was going, man. He was fast.
Yeah.
Jumping over the rope, inside, everything. And then at the end there, I just said I love how Savage still jumped for that second elbow drop, even though everybody was like, no. He's like, nope, fuck it, I'm going.
Yep. Sure did. Yep. It was great. AJ, what do you got for this one?
So I liked how it said, "Oh yeah" on his suit lapel, in big letters. That was great.
Yep.
So when Jake hits the DDT, he doesn't go for the pin. This is one of my favorite feuds of all time, and it's stuff like that because Jake is so good at doing that shit. It got him volcano heat because he hit the DDT and then he was just like, "Nope, I'm not pinning him."
Sit in the corner.
We have some more mom quotes during this match.
Awesome.
So first, when they both entered the ring. And Macho took his hat off. My mom goes, he has hat head on top of his mullet.
It's true. Yeah, it sure did.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, it was
And
great.
then, I don't know why this made me laugh so much, but when one of them grabbed a chair, my mom just goes, "Uh-oh, chairs," and that was it. Like that was her comment.
Uh-oh, chairs.
Uh-oh, chairs. And
Michael, what you
made me
got?
laugh like a moron.
So for this one, this is like a part of the lost art of pro wrestling. Dirty, I'm sure you're going to appreciate this. Macho selling the DDT.
Yes.
Like, that's how you sell a finisher.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jake not doing the pin because he's not going to win the match with the finisher.
Right.
So he doesn't go for the pin. He just does it for like a bullet point, right?
Yeah.
And I've talked to AJ about this before. Like, this is one of my bigger problems with modern wrestling is that no one sells shit anymore. But Macho selling a simple DDT is like he's in trouble. Like, Jake is a piece of crap for not pinning him. Like, it's a lost art. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, man. It was pretty wild there. So just, quick synopsis, Primo, AJ, you guys have probably seen this stuff for the first time, maybe ever, for a long time. So, Saturday night's main event, just real quick, man, as we've talked about it all month, what'd you think? How'd you like it? How'd you like watching the wrestling that I grew up on?
I could watch these. I could do a show. I could do shows on these for the rest of the time that we are in existence, and I think I would be happy. These are so entertaining and so much fun. And it's like
There's
it's
tons
not even
more
like,
of them that are good. There's a lot more out there that are good too.
well, plus what I appreciate about them is there's stuff that you can like make jokes about, and have some laughs and while you're watching. And then there's stuff that's legitimately awesome, like the Macho in Jake the Snake stuff or the formation of the superpowers. There's some really good storytelling in these episodes. So I've had so much fun with all of these. I'm sad that they're over.
Yeah, I think that, these could have been, your Saturday morning, I had Saturday morning cartoons when I was a kid. So these, your Saturday night, activity, every Saturday night to look forward to for sure. These were fun to watch. And I really enjoyed them, especially since they're a little beyond my time. But obviously, I know all the big moments. It was fun for me to see as I said before, all the little stuff because I've never seen a lot of these shows in their entirety. So it was real cool, and it's cool and funny to see what they thought was cool back in the day.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
definitely there.
Very entertaining, and I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I enjoyed it. It's going to be, I had fun watching those. Next month, we're going to be doing ECW pay-per-views. The first one we're going to be doing is actually 4 ECW pay-per-views for the month of December. The very first one's going to be Barely Legal, which was the very first pay-per-view for ECW. Go watch that before December the 8th. That's when we'll be talking about that one. So that's what's coming up next month for our Dropkick discussion. All right, guys, grab you some pen and paper. It is time to play Squared Circle Questions. What I have today for my guys here is 5 questions, guys. Okay, this is going to go by points here. So I have 1 wrestler question, 1 pay-per-view question, and I have 3 potpourri questions. So the wrestler and pay-per-view will be worth 1 point each. The 3 potpourri questions will also be worth 1 point each, but more than one person can get these right here. So, all right. So, Michael's gone again.
Oh, he'll be back.
Okay.
Maybe. Right. In the meantime,
so we're writing our answers.
There we go.
Champ. There it is. 1. Yep.
1.
Yep.
1. Primo, look at it. Look at it, Primo. Love it. Look at it more.
I guess I can.
As champ 1.
I can retire this.
Yeah. All right.
That sounded good.
Yeah. All right. All right. So for the wrestler and pay-per-view questions, you only need the paper for the potpourri questions. So Well, I'm going to start here first. We'll just start off with wrestlers. So each one is worth a point. The guys here will try to name the wrestler, pay-per-view, or answer to the questions here as we get rolling. Each one is worth 1 point here. So let's start with wrestler first. Are you guys ready? Your first answer is your answer. If all three of you guys get your first answer wrong, then I will let you guys all back in. But
first to say it out loud.
First to say it out loud is the correct answer. Here we go.
You only get one shot, right?
You only get one shot. Yep.
Right.
All right.
Let's everyone. What's up?
Yeah. Yep. All right. Here we go. Wrestler born November 28th, 1981. He was in the WWE from 2011 to 2020. He is billed and also from Minneapolis, Minnesota, 6'6", 315 pounds. He was trained by Eddie Sharkey from Pro Wrestling Noah. And
Jinder Mahal.
Wrong.
He's still in WWE.
And then he was trained in FCW before debuting in NXT
Shelton
in 2012.
Benjamin.
He's still in WWE.
All right. Primo,
is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Primo, the only one left here. One-time NXT Tag Team Champion.
Two-time silly fucking Jinder Mahal. Fuck.
Two-time WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champion. He was released by the WWE in 2020. All right, here's the meat. He was part of a very popular three-man faction that feuded with The Shield. His real name is Joseph Rudd. The leader of his faction is Bray Wyatt. His tag team partner was Luke Harper.
I was letting you finish. I know who it is.
I know it is. The last one is he wore a goat mask.
We're going to go with... Oh, man, I'm not going to say a wrong name because I don't want to get it wrong. That was going to be funny, but it's Eric Rowan.
It's Eric Rowan. All right.
I was going to say Hornswoggle just to be funny.
If you would have said that he was a vintner, I would have got it.
A vintner.
He was a vintner.
I follow him on Twitter, too.
Right,
Michael, I would like to point out that both you and I guessed wrestlers that were still in the WWE.
They are both still active wrestlers.
I honestly had no idea Shelton Benjamin was still.
At first,
they never used the guy. Like
they recently reformed the Hurt Business. Then MVP returned.
Yes.
All right. All right. So next one is pay-per-view. I'm going to give you the year. You have to guess the name of the pay-per-view. Okay.
Now, last time we did this was so funny.
Yeah, last time we did so funny. I'll give each one of you guys, a turn if you want to, throw it out there, So, but I'll read till you guys get it here. All right, you ready? Here we go. This pay-per-view took place July 19th, 2015, at the Scottrade Center in St. Louis, Missouri. There was 11,000 people there, including your boy, the Dirty Bird. I was there. There were 7 matches on this card. King Barrett defeated R-Truth. Randy defeated Sheamus. Thank you. The Primetime Players defeated The New Day. Bray Wyatt defeated Roman Reigns. Charlotte defeated Brie and Sasha.
Wait. I'm going to go for it. Great Balls of Fire.
Damn.
That's a good guess.
That is a very good guess.
John Cena defeats KO to retain the U.S. belt. Brock Lesnar won by DQ over Seth Rollins after a return by The Undertaker, who attacked Brock Lesnar. Gong hit. Taker was in the ring. Might have been right when the WWE Network had just started. Taker tombstones Brock as we go off of the show. That is my notes. My last one is it's an obscure pay-per-view. It's not being done anymore. I'll give you that hint. Fire away.
Roadblock.
Primo, take a guess.
That's a good guess too.
Over the Limit.
No, Michael.
He already said Great Balls of Fire. Oh yeah, that's
we're going back around.
Okay.
Michael.
Fastlane.
Nope.
Payback.
Nope.
Fuck.
I'll give you a hint if Primo gets it wrong.
Okay.
What month and year was it again?
July
19th,
15.
2015.
July 19th, 2015.
And it's not SummerSlam.
It's not.
I think we're doing a pretty good job of naming pay-per-views that aren't on
Obscure
anymore.
pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Capital punishment.
All right. So I'm gonna give you another hint, and then you guys can blurt it out again if you want to. Okay. This name of this pay-per-view pertains to a place where war is taken or happens.
Armageddon.
Battleground.
Damn!
Michael wins. Battleground. Yes.
Was this one the time when they were doing 24 pay-per-views a year?
It was a lot of pay-per-views.
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah.
It was okay. So it was gotcha.
It's like 2 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was one of the brands. I think whatever one might have been a Raw one. I'm not sure, but yeah, Battleground was.
It was
the
Raw. Casino had the U.S. Championship.
All right, so Primo won, Michael won, AJ none. Here we go with our potpourri questions. Get your pen and paper here, boys. You got. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds probably here to get this one. All right, ready? When I give you the answer, write and reveal. Here's your question. How many kids does Heath Slater actually have?
Actually have?
How many does he actually have? How many kids does Heath Slater actually have? Reveal. 0, Michael. 3, AJ. It's digitizing. Pretty
3.
much.
I wrote 3 also.
You guys are all wrong. It's 2.
Aww.
At least according to the internet, everything that I searched said 2. All right, next up, nobody gets that one. All right, here we go. Back to Battleground, guys. How many WWE Battleground pay-per-view events were there all time? How many WWE Battleground pay-per-view events were there all time?
Sticking with that number.
All right. Primo says 3. Michael says 3. AJ still says 1.
No, he says 1 instead of 3.
No, there were 5.
Yeah, 1.
There were 5.
Oh,
damn!
All right, AJ, you are mathematically eliminated. You are not eligible for this last question. It comes down to Primo and Michael here. All right, here we go. Back to Battleground once again.
Why do you love Battleground so much?
Well, because I was there. That very 2000. All right, here we go. That very 2015 Battleground pay-per-view. All right, here's the key. Outside of the WWE network, how many pay-per-view buys did Battleground reportedly get in 2015? Closest to the number wins. Squared circle questions today, boys.
Ooh.
AJ, you can go ahead and play, man. If you can go ahead and play.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
We'll reveal yours after we
pay-per-view buys.
How many pay-per-view buys did Battleground 2015 get outside of the WWE network? Michael said 250,000. Primo said 35,000. Estimated 76,000. So Primo is the winner. AJ says 150,000. Primo, your square circle questions winner today. Look at there, man.
My default. That was.
I just took a dive for you, man. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I went real low with that. I had no faith in Battleground.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Michael. You knew that would make me feel better.
I did. I was like, no.
Michael did the job. Michael did the job. He put Primo over.
3 billion.
That was fun, boys. That was fun. Had a good time doing that. All right, boys. It's time to bring in our interview with Kev Kellum from AAW. We had a blast talking to Kevin here. He is a local DJ VJ on Springfield radio, and he is also known mainly to us as the Mean Gene backstage for AAW, as he is your backstage correspondent. So Kevin's stopped by to talk about the Windy City Classic this Friday night at 115 Bourbon Street in Marionette Park, Illinois. It's going to be a big, huge card. So here's our interview with Kev Kellum of AAW. All right, today we've got an extra special interview here for you. We're here to talk about AAW Live at 115 Bourbon Street, November 26th, this Friday, right after Thanksgiving, Marionette Park, Illinois, Southside Chicago. It's the biggest show of the year. I've been to this show plenty of times. This one's going to be on live on Fight TV. Here to talk about this super huge show, backstage correspondent for AAW, Kevin Kellum. Appreciate you being on the show, brother. Thanks, man.
Well, sit down, Mark. Sit down. I understand. We could get into this card. This card's pretty crazy. Maybe I'm burning the lead here. We got a lot of great stuff. We're gonna have a bunch of different names from AEW scene from Impact are gonna be on the show. There is a mystery spot. I don't know who that is. I'm trying to find out who that is. We're gonna have a ladder match. It's gonna set someone up for a title shot. We have a huge title match in the show. The winner of the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament, one of the fastest rising stars in independent wrestling, Matt Fitchett, the gunslinger.
The old dirty
someone in Central Illinois can appreciate this guy from Granite City. Is going to be taking on the savage weight Fred Yehai, who's been on a real roll and has had some of the best matches that AAW's had in quite some time. And he is our champion. And this is going to be a real clash. We're going to have Allison Kay, AK Don't Play, going off
Don't Play.
Yeah, somebody who's been
pinkies up.
Pinkies up, dude. And then she's going against Sky Blue, who's been having a monster year. You know,
AJ's favorite, one of AJ's favorites.
Sky Blue.
Yeah, he's popping right now.
Sky does not enjoy cutting promos with me backstage. She doesn't like my puns. I always make weather puns, and she's not fond of it.
She doesn't like the weather puns?
No, I was like, the skies are looking very bright for you. And
right. Yeah.
I do all that. And she reminds me that I don't have good social skills, but that's where we are. It's a monster show. I'm just so happy to be a part of AAW. I'm not bragging when I say it's one of the top independents in the country,
but it is.
People talk about PWG and GCW, which are all great promotions. Sure. But in the Midwest, it's AAW. It's right. They're top, and then you kind of talk about everybody else after that. That's no shot at anyone else. I think we all know where it is, and it's because of the performances that you get out of people here, the collection of talent you get here, and then at the same time, the rise up. You know, I brought up Sky when I cut promos with her. She'd only been going a year or two. She only done some stuff and just blew up and was doing stuff with us in front of like 50 people in the pandemic, limited, masked up. You know, everyone doing what we can to get through and do shows however we can on Fight. And thank you to Fight for giving us a platform through this whole thing too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, every show that I've ever been to there, like I've never walked out of there thinking, man, this card, like, you know, did not deliver. Every one of the shows blow your heads off. You know what I mean? Especially at places, you know, at like 115 Bourbon Street, you know, and I'm not saying this. Yeah, I'm a Central Illinois guy, but before I moved here 7 years ago, when we would visit up here with my wife's parents, we would plan it around AAW shows.
Hell yeah, dude!
So I could come to them, man, and because they're that important and that good.
We're gonna go to dinner with your parents, but I'm doing the wrestling thing on this night. I get
it. Yeah, man. So I quickly fell in love with Bourbon Street. It's an absolute great place to go get something to eat, drinks, and go watch the show. Hang out afterwards, man. I love it. You know, I enjoy going to shows here. We just went there to Savages and Kings. You were talking about Fred Yehai not long ago. We were all there sitting on the stage for that show. It was great, boys. I mean, talk about the night being on the stage there, guys.
That's actually one of the first, because I've been to a bunch of house shows before and, you know, a couple of smaller independent shows, but like going to Savages and Kings and sitting up on the stage, that was the first like experience that I had with AAW, first of all. And I was blown away by the entire thing. We were right there on the stage. Like I hate to say, but I think my favorite part of the night was the ref putting himself over all night. Like I love that guy so much. Like I wanted to go up and
talking about Perch.
Yeah, the skinny little kid, like
Perch, baby. Yeah, he's one of the best.
He was so awesome.
He's great, man. We love him, man. He is awesome at his craft, man, for sure, man. Primo, you were right next to the wrestlers walking out, man. Did you get humbled a little bit when guys like Jake something?
You know what? It was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. I've been a lifelong wrestling fan, and you know, to see these dudes walk literally right next to me, it was pretty crazy. Jake something's a big dude. Russ is a big dude. He stared right.
Russ Jones.
Oh, dude, Russ is one of the most intimidating people.
He stared right into these eyeballs.
Yeah, I think he snatched his soul.
I'm doing an interview with them backstage, and Russ shows up big time, and he's just wrecking people, and he's still wrecking people, and he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He has a chunk, and he's doing squats with it, and he's really mad about his placement in AEW, and I can get it. Some people don't like where they are in the card. Now we hear about that all the time. This is something people are asking me backstage all the time. So we're about to do this discussion, and Russ is sitting at a table, and he doesn't want to get up. He just wants to sit. You come and talk to me, right?
Sure.
Like, I'm mad. I don't even want to stand up and show off the body for this promo. I ain't doing it. And so, and his manager, his associate at the time, Chuck Smooth, is there. And I say, well, where do I sit? And he goes, you sit on the floor. You don't stand up. So I just sit on the floor while I was trying to interview them. It was pretty wild. There's been some crazy stuff backstage. Mance Warner, God bless him, he just had an awful injury. Go donate if you can. Go donate to his GoFundMe.
Yes.
He was him in the Second Gear crew. People know them. They beat Infamy in this match where they crushed doors over people's heads. I don't know if you guys got to see that in your show. It was wild. And they just wrecked people. They were covered in blood. And I didn't know I was going to do a post match with them. And we just grabbed them, and they're covered in blood. Get up. They're covered in blood. You got. And go. And I definitely had to get my suit dry cleaned after that.
Yeah. They should get it framed now.
They're cutting like shaky promos, like just blood splattering.
The promo, it's on Twitter. The clip ends with me going, "Did he get blood on me?"
That's great, man. Yeah, I want to give you guys nods too, man. When we go to the shows, I love at Bourbon Street watching the interviews backstage up on the screens. You guys do a heck of a job with that. Producing all those videos, man.
It's easier. See, if you Asia, you'd never been to our show. You got there. And those videos make everything clear. Here's why these guys have an issue. Here's why this is happening. You get to see more personality. I would assume that AAW is the closest thing to a major televised promotion in the scope of independent wrestling.
When we were sitting there, I was like, they're doing promo packages right now. Like while we're sitting in the audience, the production was amazing, because there were promo packages playing to the audience.
And we want the people who buy it on Fight to get that type of experience. I mean, you could just turn on a show, and this is no rip at anyone. The matches just happen, and commentary is kind of covering everything. You need more fluid. You need a more fluid, full package in terms of what you get. If you pick up our show and you haven't seen anything, we don't want you feeling left out of the process at all. All wrestling fans are wrestling fans, not just the dudes like us, like ears and saying, I know this guy, he was number 15 on the PWI 500. And God bless you if you do. Like, those people are always going to be a part of our show. AAW's had that fan base in Chicago and the Midwest for years. But we're always down for new people. We're always down for your wife to come and have a good time. Your buddies who are just, WWE fans or just casual. They only watch the Rumble and Mania. Come on out, man. And our brand is built on just working class people seeing a kick-ass show.
And it's funny you say that, Kevin, about your wife too, real quick. The only shows my wife will go to me with are AAW shows, because I took her and I let her sit on the stage one time. Now I've drug her to tons of other indie shows. But she loves the stage. She's spoiled now. She loves the room, and she is a Mance Warner fan, so she loves when Mance on the card. And back when MJF was really running through AAW a lot, she loved some scarf of MJF. And she was like, he just, she loved how much of a dick he was. Like, it was great, man.
But, I love when you can bring someone who's casual and they immediately I like this guy. This is my favorite. Don't like him.
They attach to someone immediately.
Another thing too, absolutely. If they've never been to a show, Eddie Kingston grabs a microphone and everyone in the building's instantly hooked. Fan or not, like Eddie he's been a mainstay there for years, and thank God for that, man. How entertaining is Eddie? Love what he's happening to him now. But yeah, he's brought so many fans on, and she loves Eddie too, man, because he gives it back to the fans if they're giving it to him. You know what I mean? And she loves seeing that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what keeps her interested, man. But yeah, it's really awesome. But I want to tell you too, Kevin, we talked about right before the show. The name Sit Down Marks of this podcast came from AAW.
I want to hear this story. Tell me.
Let me tell you. All right. In a nutshell, your boy here was having a good time on an AAW night at Bourbon Street. We were sitting front row, and I believe it was the night that Matt Hardy was there. Chris Hero was there, and he was
2017 around.
Yeah, Chris Nero, or whatever they was using. Anyway, it was that show, and you might know there was these two guys that always sat front row, kind of near Jack. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, kind of near Jack. They always came to the show.
Jack, I forgot about Jack.
And I was always envious. I'm like, man, these guys got it made, man. They're always at the shows. Even the shows I couldn't make, I would, see, on the streaming service or whatever. And, I'm like, oh, man, they're always there, right? So anyway, we'd talk to them occasionally. Never really got to know their names. It was kind of like, hey, because, you see guys at shows or whatever. So anyway, so we're all having a good time. We're all, so I don't know, some wrestlers are out. And these two guys are really giving it to the wrestlers, right? And I'm standing over there, and I look over.
We have a heckling crowd.
Yeah. I look over and I'm like,
our crowd lets us know if they don't like you.
Yes.
They, Chicago don't mess around, man.
Oh yes, and yeah, if they don't like you, you know it. But yeah, they're going crazy, and I look over, I'm like, hey, sit down, Marks. And they stop, like dead silent, look at me, and like, the fuck, you're doing the same thing we're doing. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, just, it was just a funny moment. And then from there on, a couple of my buddies that went to the show with me was like, they'd always say, oh, sit down, Marks, we'd always talk about that story. And then we started coming up with the idea of the podcast. Like, it just felt natural that it had to be that, because they had a couple different meanings. And, but yeah, that's where, Sit Down Marks was born, was Bourbon Street in Marionette Park, man. How about that, huh? Like, wow.
Love a good story, man. And I was, I'm a fan of the show. It wasn't just like, hey, we know you're in podcasting, radio, and stuff like that. Can you come in and do this? I was one of the first shows I saw. Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, Berwyn Eagles Club in front of 200 people. And that was 2005. And I've done stuff on and off with them. I've been back with them basically since the middle of the pandemic. There's other great people that have worked for them too. Yes. Just outside of, being in the ring, you think all the WWE people, there's a ton of really, really talented people. Dr. Keith Lipinski, who produced Wrestling Society X, he's involved in the production. Danny Daniels is a promoter and owner. He was involved with ECW and a lot of great things. So there's real pedigree of people. Yeah, there's real pedigree of people guiding the ship here. Trent Severi, who's been producing with it for well over like 10 years.
Yep.
We have a lot of really talented camera people. There's and then you have Joe Dombrowski, who's now doing MLW. He's on color. Tyler Vowles is our play-by-play.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tyler, man. I love Tyler, man. I always say hey to him at the shows because I love hearing his voice when he jumped on. Like, I love how he delivers the match. He, that's another part of I wanted to make sure I talked about today. Tyler's one of the best, man. I really enjoy him. I just when I always know it's going to be a good show when Tyler's calling AAW, which is most of the time. But Tyler does a great job. The whole team there absolutely does a great job. So before you get out of here, man, let's get to this. We were talking about earlier.
Run it down.
This card here, man. We got to get to it, man. Let's talk about right off the bat. Newly signed ladder match. Winner gets an AAW championship match of his choosing. In the match, Ren Jones, Shaft, Storm Grayson, Gringo Loco, one of my favorites always in Chicago, Jossie, Jake Lander, Davey Vega, and Braden Lee all in this ladder match. How nuts could this get at Bourbon Street, man?
A lot of personalities there. A lot of people who want something. Jossie is a guy who has a ton of personality, but is looking for that breakthrough moment, been in a lot of these matches. Gringo Loco is probably one of the best luchador, the base god, as he calls himself.
So underrated, man.
Incredibly underrated. Lee he's the definitive millennial body guy. I mean that he has a lot left in the tank. He's got to prove something here. Sure. Lander, a guy who's been in the mix for a long time, but needs that breakthrough moment. Then you have a man who calls himself, I'm quoting here, the baddest motherfucker in professional wrestling. Shaft, and you can't tell him otherwise.
I would never tell him otherwise.
I'm not going to.
A scary dude.
Why would you?
Ren Jones is the fashion plate of AAW. He is tall. He is lean. He could be the center for any team he wants to be on. And if you see him, he will make you look at his shoes, and he will not talk to you until you compliment his shoes, which is odd. And then you have Davey Vega. Interesting thing about Davey Vega, one half of besties in the world.
Sure,
Matt Fitchett was his tag team partner. Matt Fitchett now goes through the lineup tournament, wins it. He's now in position to win that world title. Yes. When Besties in the World broke up as a tag team, think of it this way for fans who don't know. Imagine the Hardy Boys break up. Everyone knows Jeff's going to be a big star. Sure. No one expected Matt to be as big a star, right? In this case, Davey Vega, everyone thought Davey Vega is going to be the guy. He's the guy.
Love me some Davey. Love me some Davey.
Yeah, and so I think there's some interesting things here. It's very hard to pick who's going to win this match. This will be nuts. And I also want to say Storm Grayson is in this match. This guy has been really, really strong on the independents in Chicago. He's coming out, and this is a real test for him. This is a real test for everybody in this match to do something. There's a stake here. There's guys who were in this tournament recently, who were in multi-man matches, who've never gotten an opportunity at the top strap. And now, in one match, with all those different guys in it and ladders, all right, a lot of unpredictable elements, one thing we can predict confidently is you're going to have a number one contender coming out of this night.
Sure.
Yep, definitely. All right, moving on here. Next couple matches, Russ Jones and Larry D in singles matchup, and then Silas Young and Manders. Talk about the SGC crew, man. Silas Young making return, man. I hope Journey hits the speakers and Silas comes out. I haven't seen him come back yet, man, but, you know, he's got to come out to Journey.
We just had Silas come back at Hell Hath No Fury. We did a 3-night run. We did both nights of the gym line in the tournament with Hell Hath No Fury in between. And Silas was a last-minute addition to the show. Eddie Kingston was supposed to be there. There were some unfortunate issues with him not being able to attend the event, out of anyone's control, including Eddie's. And what do? Well, there's a lot of Ring of Honor talent that just hit the market, right?
Definitely.
And Silas has a ton of history. He's one of our banner stars in terms of just people that we hang banners of them up at our shows. Silas is one of those names, very limited name. There's only a handful of people in AAW that get a banner, and he has one. And he didn't come back to AAW for no reason. And we're going to have some big stuff with him down the line. I think this is a really, really strong test for him. And it'll be interesting to see Manders, too. This is a guy who I saw take a Death Valley driver off a cherry picker 20 feet in the air in front of 25 people. And got up and was like, that's sore. You guys want some beers? Like he, when he says what he is, this guy is literally the corn belt cowboy. He is farm tough. He is the definition of a Midwest guy, not in a city, but a tough guy in a towny bar who will kick your ass. So I like the matchup here. It kind of sells itself. The beer drinking man from Milwaukee, the beer drinking kid from the farms. Let's go at it.
Yep. All right. Next couple of matches, contenders match, AAW Women's Championship, Charlie Evans, Christy James, Lady Frost, and Sierra. That should pretty awesome. I know these ladies are all hungry to get a shot at the title.
Lady Frost, we've been waiting to have her for quite some time. Of course, has been very talked about name in the independents, but let's not, pass over anyone else here. Christy James just had a very, very big Fans Bring the Weapons match. She was successful in, along with Sky Blue. I think they will be the standouts, but I'm not writing off Evans or Sierra in this one either.
Yep. Pretty wild. All right. Next up, Ace Austin and Myron Reed versus Hakeem Zane and Karim. This should be awesome. Hakeem has been on quite a roll here lately. He's a heritage champion for a little while, man. This should come out pretty awesome. Only a few minutes left here. AAW Heavyweight Championship contenders match. We talked about this earlier. Rich Swann, Alex Zane, Josh Alexander, and somebody yet to be named.
Question mark.
There's your surprise, man. I don't know, but I know it's going to be good on Fight TV.
I want to say everything.
Can we get like a hint? What's a
no? I would get in a lot of trouble if I even hinted. I honestly, I have some idea, but I don't know. So even if I don't have a clear idea, if I had more of a clear idea, maybe I would drop a hint on you, but I don't. And so there's some things like that. I was like when Silas showed up, I had no idea. I was in the back, I was getting ready, and they're like, okay, and I get my production list, and I'm like, there was a blank spot, and it's like, all right, so I have to know what that is. And I was like, oh, and then once I was like, well, there's our blank spot. Nice. So like, it's kind of nice when even they keep me in the dark. I don't mind it. And there's other times when there's like, all right, be ready for this. Be ready for this. So
surprises are the best part of wrestling. So 2 matches left on the card: Allison Kay and Sky Blue, we talked about earlier, and then the main event: Fred Yehi versus the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament winner, Matt Fitchett. This is what we all been we're going to be tuning in to see the finale here. This show right here is going to shape and set the tone of AAW for the next year. This main event doesn't get more bigger than this.
Absolutely. It's a big one. I wonder, it makes me feel like Fitchett was on such a roll. He beat Josh Alexander. He beat like a guy who just won a world title, and Josh Alexander, a name that might be on this card as well. We're trying to see where he drops on it, so like that's what the show is. So there's a lot going on here, and who knows what surprises may be added to the show as well. Some of those things happen day of too. We do have tickets still available. You can get them at aawpro.com. That's aawpro.com. Tickets GA starting at $20. You can get second row seats for $30. And then if you want to get it anywhere in the world on fight.tv, the Fight app, you can get on your laptop, by the way, on Apple TV and Roku. Very, very affordable shows. And then if you want to check out our on-demand library, we have that on a subscription service for less than $10. You can get AAW on demand. All that different history you guys were talking about, that's all a couple clicks away.
I want to plug that really quick. That is worth every single penny that because I recently signed up for that after we got back from the show in August and have more than made my money back just in that first 2 weeks alone. So
thanks, man. I it's really, really cool. I'm pitching some things backstage for that too. So hopefully we get to film some stuff and do some cool things on it. Yeah,
you have to come back on and talk again at some point and talk about that as well. Because I want to know personally, because I love going in and looking at all the back catalogs and all the stuff that you have going on.
I mean, think about that catalog. The catalog of stuff we have is really,
fucking
really
amazing.
It's
fascinating.
We're talking
all the people that's come through AAW.
I mean, tons.
Everybody would be surprised if they seen it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
almost everything formative with Seth Rollins, Silas Young. There's incredible stuff with Bryan Danielson on there.
You can go watch Danny wrestle.
Tons.
Yeah.
You want to see Danny Daniels?
You want to go see
boss
Danny
at AEW do a spinning pile driver through a table? Yeah, we got that. That's there. Yeah.
All right. Well, this Friday, AAW live at 115 Bourbon Street, Marion.
Black Friday, November 26th.
November 26th. Yep, the Friday after Thanksgiving, the biggest show of the year. Make sure you guys tune in. Kevin, thank you so much. The backstage correspondent for AAW. Appreciate you being on the pod here today, man. We thank you so much, man. It was our pleasure.
Well, you guys are some good marks. We're gonna have to see you guys and chat it up. All right.
Yes, sir. We can do it anytime you're ready, brother.
Thanks for the time, fellas. Thanks for coming out to the show.
Plug your radio real quick on the way out, man. Plug your radio.
Right. Oh yeah, plug me on the radio. Yeah. If I know you're listening to Central Illinois, you can catch me middays on the best rock radio station in the Central Illinois nation. I'm talking about 97.7 QLZ. Stream it anywhere in the world at WQLZ.com.
That's what we want to hear. All right. Well, great interview there.
Wrestling too. Sportskita.com. I'm on Sportskita every single weekday. You can check me out there too.
There you go. All right. That will do it for our interview today. Make sure you check out that show live this Friday, AAW at 115 Bourbon Street and also on Fight TV. Check it out. All right, Primo, man. It was cool to have Kevin on the pod, man. That is a big, huge card this weekend.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Fun guy to talk to as well. I can't wait to have him back on the show. He brought a lot of energy, and he's real knowledgeable, and some of the stuff he talked about was real funny, too.
Yeah, it really was, man. He is the backstage correspondent, so go check them out. They are this Friday night at 115 Bourbon Street in Marionette Park, Illinois. Matt Fitchett versus Fred Yehi for the AAW heavyweight championship there. It's going to be a big card. Go check those guys out. All right, time to close the show. Let's thank Coastland for sponsoring the show. Where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcast, Primo?
Well, Marks, you can get the Sit Down Marks Primo. You can get Primo. You can get the Sit Down Marks podcast for this week and this week only on Twitch. Also, you get on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, now on SportsWire Online Radio live Fridays at 6:15 Eastern Time, right before the
number one
Sports Global Show on the radio network, the Thomas Bryce Show. Don't forget to give us 5-star rating if you love the pod. Also, we're on Facebook podcasts as well, and soon to be moving to a YouTube near you.
Yes, we are. December the 1st, the very first time we're going to be on YouTube. Go check us out. Search Sit Down Marks on YouTube and give us a subscribe and follow. Check us out, man. All right, let's get to our MMA weekend picks of the weekend. AJ, you had a big weekend, brother. Coming in.
Did I?
Yeah, you did, man. Coming into tonight, or this weekend, this past weekend. You were 13-16, okay?
Not good.
Dude,
not good.
Dude, you went 4-1 this weekend. You missed the main event. So now that brings you back to 500. So you are 17-17. No picks this weekend because holidays. Let's head over to the MMA. Primo's lock of the week. He was 2-0 coming into tonight. his pick was Misha Tate for that main event. Primo,
I went
did
down.
you get it right?
No.
You did. Yep.
Did
I?
Down.
Yep. Yep. You lost. Vieira won. So Primo will drop to 2-1 in his locks of MMA locks of the week.
So a winning record.
Still a winning record. Yep. All right, so yeah, guys, make sure you go give us a follow on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. We'll be moving there December the 1st. I want to make sure we talk about AAW Windy City Classic this Friday night. And also I want to thank Kevin for being on the show here today, man. Really had a fun time talking to Kevin. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody, you guys as well. And everybody listen, appreciate you guys. And so AJ, talk to us, man. What's coming on next week on the pod? What are we doing next week?
Next week we have a very special episode where we speak with Logan Bruce of Iron Spirit Pro. He's the founder, promoter, head honcho of mine and Dirty's local promotion. He's a really cool guy, really informative. So we're going to have him on, and then we're going to give you some little bonus content about Iron Spirit Pro. So tune in next week because their live show is going to be December 3rd in Normal, Illinois. It's called Back to Normal. So we're going to talk about that, and Logan talks about that, and we're going to do all kinds of fucking stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. Looking forward to it. So, yeah, make sure you guys all be safe out there. Have a really great Thanksgiving out there if you celebrate. Michael, man, thanks for being on the pod today, brother. I was happy to see you back, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. Always a fun time. Try to be a bit more positive this time for you, so maybe you'll invite me back more often. Instead of just jumping all over everything and annoying Primo via chat like I like to do, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're good, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So big things coming up on the pod. We got a huge December coming up. We're going to be talking to Hartenbauer, the Zawa Live champion. We're going to be talking to a lot of other wrestlers. No spoilers, but we just booked our Christmas edition guest. You guys are going to be pumped. I'm already pumped. This wrestler is one of the biggest wrestlers in the scene right now, independent wrestling scene right now in the Midwest. And she, hint, is taking over. And so we're going to be excited to announce that one later on in the month of December. So, all right, boys. Well, it's a big pod. Primo's streak is over. A new streak begins for AJ. Any last words and thoughts here, Primo, before you officially let go of the trophy?
Well,
hello, darkness, my old friend.
We had a long run. We'll meet again.
Your streak is over. He said we'll meet again. Very nice.
For those listening, Primo was stroking his trophy.
It's your trophy. I was stroking your trophy.
Stroking my trophy.
All right, guys. Next Monday, that podcast is going to drop with Iron Spirit Pro, Logan, and then we'll be back live here December the 1st. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. AJ, take us home.
Grab them cakes.